Hello and welcome into Mac People Stadium up here in Lacey Lakeview, Texas on the campus of Connally High School for tonight's district matchup between the Connally Cadets and your Lorena Leopards. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jared Brown, joined by my broadcast partner, the reportedly 1991 Peter Piper Pizza skee ball champion, Billy Rutherford. And Billy, the Leopards come into tonight losers of 2 straight district games. Cadets have lost a couple of straight as well. Somebody's going to get their first district win tonight. It's absolutely crucial to do that if you want to make the playoffs.
100%. And I think the fact that both these teams are still hunting for the first district win is really a testament to how strong this district is, right? We've seen both of these teams in non-district perform extremely well. Both are really extremely talented, so that's just a testament of how difficult the district is. But we knew that coming in, and tonight is a big game for both of these squads. It really is going to be, the old adage, who's hungrier. But I think, Jared, who makes the least mistakes. Yeah,
obviously Leopards have kind of struggled here lately, made some mistakes. We look back to last week's game against Gatesville, and it really was a game where the Leopards got down early, were able to come back into it, but then just really as we got later into the ball game, just they couldn't keep up with it. They were able to quiet the Gatesville star and Amos Phillips, but that allowed running back Cy Burns to kind of go off on the Leopard defense.
100%, and it's if you watch Leopard football this year, you know that they're kind of a mash unit. They've had a lot of attrition this year, and every year you have attrition, right? But this year has been really key spots and probably the worst possible times for the Leopards. But they did a really good job against Phillips last week. But the problem with that is when you have to take out a player like that, you're under leveraged, and we saw that last week with the outstanding performance that Burns had.
Yeah, almost 300 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. Kind of really a coming out party for him. I don't think anybody expected that. Certainly not the Leopards, but credit Gatesville for a good game plan. They get the win, and are in a good spot to make the playoffs. Leopards again just going to have to try to turn it around and figure it out. But after dropping another tough district game, the Leopards look to right the ship against Connally. When we come back, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup with the Cadets. We'll also talk to Lorena head coach Kevin Johnson. This is the Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa pregame show. You're watching Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
I'm Rusty Robinson with Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa, where quality and design makes the difference. We specialize in gunite pools, remodels, fiberglass pools. We've got all the selections here in the office between your tile, your coping, your veneer, top of the line equipment, concrete finishes, and anything else that you need. We've got glass tiles, pebble plaster, top of the line travertine coping, and 3cm, 5cm bullnose, anything that you could want on the pool. We're going to come out to the house, do a 3D design, get everything you need so that we can see your house, your pool, in your yard so that we can make any adjustments.
Syntex Pond, Waco, Hewitt, Temple, and Killeen, here to help you with all your cash flow needs. Bring in all items of value for quick, hassle-free loans or sell them at a fair value and receive the best customer service in Central Texas. From Rolexes to firearms, our experienced staff is here to help when you need cash with compassion and understanding. Check out our Google reviews and come see for yourself. We are proud supporters of Lorena Leopard football. Syntex Pond. We are not in the loan or merchandise business. We are in the people business. Come check us out.
Welcome back into Mac People Stadium for tonight's game between Lorena and Connally. An interesting matchup, Team Billy. Teams with identical records, both 2-5 on the year, 0-2 in district. And I think it's going to be a real matchup of wills tonight. When we take a look at the Connally side, you can't not talk about Connally without mentioning Jamari and Vincent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a matchup nightmare. I would consider him a game wrecker if you're the defensive coordinator. No matter what your record is as a coach, I think you have to come in game planning to try to, take him out of the game in quotation marks. You have to try to minimize the big play because he's a mismatch, right? He's explosive. He's being highly recruited, as most people know. Legit collegiate athlete. So the challenge is going to be similar to last week. Right? How do you minimize the big play with Vincent, but also not give up the big runs on the inside?
Right. I mean, any time the opposing coach says, when asked about Vincent, Leopards head coach Kevin Johnson said he'll make your team look stupid. I was like, well, coach, talk about that. And he's like, no, he just has the ability to make you look foolish out in space. So it's going to be interesting to see how Paul DeLeon schemes for that. But also they still have to kind of game plan against a good Connally running team.
Yeah, well, and also, too, like the thing that I think that would give me the most pause if I was game planning is not only do you have to scheme, but you have to tackle, right? And I think that we can all be very honest, that's probably been the biggest challenge for this banged-up Leopard defense all year has been consistent tackling. And there's been moments where they've been excellent. you can see it. You can see that they're working on it in practice, but I think as the game goes on, fatigue sets in, and that Leopard offense scores so quick. That Leopard defense is on the field a lot, and you can't arm tackle Vincent.
Right.
But to your point, even if you arm tackle him and somehow get him down, you can't lose sight of that A-gap, B-gap inside zone run, because that will absolutely crush you in a game like this, and you're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Right. I think the one thing the Leopards kind of have going for them, Connally got off to a hot start, won their first 2 non-district games, then dropped 3 straight. They've dropped the first 2 district games, so a 5-game losing streak. It's going to be interesting to see, can they halt that negative momentum and kind of swing it back in their favor. I think if you're Lorena, you've got to at least think about that. That's in their minds. They've lost 5 straight. How can you use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Jared. Kind of what I was thinking about driving to the stadium was, in a game like this, you have both. They're kind of like boxers, right? And they may have not won a whole lot of rounds, but they're still in the fight, right? But they need something good to happen this next round, right? Because if they don't, like, it's kind of like that will gets taken away. I think the team that comes out and starts the fastest, maybe gets an early turnover or a quick score, and can seize that belief, right, I think is going to have the edge.
Definitely. When we flip it over to the Lorena side of the ball, I think we've talked about it probably ad nauseum about the line of scrimmage. This Leopard offensive line has played well. Not their best game last week, but they've really, really played well. I think Trigger Niemeyer will be back tonight to kind of anchor the right side of that offensive line. The defensive line has showed signs of push here late. I think if the Leopards can win the line of scrimmage, they can win this football game.
Absolutely, and I think anytime Lorena and Connally face off, the games are always decided by the lines of scrimmage, and that's most football games, but specifically this matchup. And to your point, Jared, I think the defensive line has improved a lot this year. A lot of people are just looking at the numbers and the rushing yards they're giving up and automatically assume that group up front is just losing, but they're not, right? Like, they're actually holding their own in many cases. I mean, against Franklin's running attack, if you look at those numbers, you're like, man, the Leopards didn't do much, but there were times that Franklin was in third and forever, right? And just busted a big play. So you're 100% right. Both lines of scrimmage, but specifically that front 3 from the Leopards, if they continue to get penetration but not lose their discipline in rushing, that way you don't open up those huge running lanes, will be big tonight.
Definitely, and I think you're going to get Hudson Griffin back tonight. Not sure how much he'll play, just from a game shape type thing, but Coach Johnson did say he will play. Unfortunately, no Adrian Medina tonight, suffered a concussion in last week's game, so he's unavailable at that middle linebacker spot, leading the district in tackles. So obviously that's a huge loss, but an opportunity for somebody else to step up and play.
100%. I will say this about Medina. He did set the tone for the defense from a aggression level, right? So you look for someone else in that defense to kind of take that role, right? You know, we saw it last year with a couple of those Leopard players that we didn't expect coming to the year, stepped up in those roles to keep that energy going. You know, and I've got a couple, I think Conlon can step into that role real easy. I think Bottoms is a kid that could be that spiritual, leader. You need someone to not only make the plays on the field, but also the energy in the huddle, the energy on the field, like all those conversations on 4th and short, 3rd and short, that guy that gets everyone up. You need someone to be that vocal leader.
Definitely. And then I think talking about roles, when we look at special teams, kind of the third phase of that game, we've seen the Leopards win a game on special teams this year. I think they need to do more of that tonight, not just in the field goal kicking game, also on kickoffs. It is going to be windy here tonight. I think it's going to be important on kickoffs for Connor Johnson to try to put that ball into the end zone, not give this Connally team a chance to return the kicks. And also, if the Leopards do have to punt, Jackson Blancett can put his right foot into it, averaging over 40 yards a punt. If he can flip the field, again, that's just making Connally go further down the field, extend some of those drives. That's going to kind of be that unsung hero, that X factor that can propel the Leopards to victory.
100%. And I think what you spoke to there is, Jackson Blancett and also Connor Johnson. They're not just good high school kickers. They both have extremely good leg talent. We've seen Connor Johnson make a huge, 2 clutch field goals. We saw him last week booted out of the back of the end zone on the kickoff. And then Jackson Blancett, one of the most athletic players on the Leopard team, punting, right? To your point, if the Leopards can win the third phase in special teams, it'll help them get an edge in this game.
Definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk to Leopards head coach Kevin Johnson. Both teams hungry for a district win. One of them's going to get it tonight. Who wants it more? When we come back, we'll talk to Leopards head coach Kevin Johnson. It's the Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa pregame show. You're watching Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
Hey, Leopard fans, looking to build the home of your dreams? Look no further than BAM Builders, your trusted local custom home builder. From foundation to finish, BAM brings your vision to life with quality, craftsmanship, and a team that truly cares. It's time to build something amazing right here in Leopard Country. Call 254-716-9987 or visit builtbybam.com to get started. That's builtbybam.com. BAM Builders, built with heart, built for you.
Football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Lorena head coach Kevin Johnson ahead of tonight's district matchup with the Connally Cadets. Coach, we take a quick peek back to last week. You guys ran into a Gatesville team that really ran the ball well and just kind of seemed to take over there in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to Gatesville. Their kids played really, really hard and limited mistakes and things of that nature for them. And I mean, they're a good football team. I think the thing that impressed me most when you watched them, I don't know that they're an overly talented team. I just felt like they were really a united team and just played disciplined football, assignment football. They knew what they were supposed to do, and they just played really, really hard. Now, you take a look back on it, it was not good for us. Us being down some players, we had some key players out. Obviously changes the game plan for us. We always have the next man up mentality, and that is absolutely true. But that's also some kids stepping up that hadn't had quite the experience somebody else may have. And it makes a difference, especially when you're playing really good football teams. And they were able to obviously limit our run game. And I think everybody's been able to see offensively, we've been really balanced throughout the year. And being able to run the ball has opened up the pass game. And they were able to just kind of pressure Jackson pretty much all night just because we couldn't establish a run game with them. With Brody being out, Trey Moore came in and did a really good job for us. I mean, we threw him in a week's time, and he did a good job for us. But it's not the same as Brody, obviously, and that makes it a little easier for a defense to come in there and kind of defend you at that point. And then defensively, we did some things better. Unfortunately, we gave up a couple big plays. Now the Phillips kid. Obviously, he's a player. He made one really good catch. We had the best coverage you could possibly be on. I mean, at some point, it's physical stature over non-physical stature. When you giving up several inches or whatever as far as height, it makes a difference. But did some things, but then obviously struggling with offense. It was just one of those things. We were fighting the entire time and just kind of behind the eight ball, never could catch up.
Yeah. And Coach, kind of talk about we've reached just crossed the little bit over 2/3 of the way through the season, and kind of with some of those injuries, how does that affect how you manage your game weeks? Where again, you're trying to put a game plan in, but also with however limited you are at practice, kind of affects what you can do as you get ready for each week.
Well, yeah, it's a little, when you get to this point in the year, you're very mindful of how physical you are at this point in the year, because everybody's going to go through some injuries, some bumps, bruises, nagging, pains that are happening. And when that's happening, you got to be mindful during practice when you're doing that. I mean, early in the year, it's a lot of teaching. It's a lot of trying to be physical. It's the fundamentals, getting there and tackling and doing some of those things. It's hard at this point, as beat up as we are, to come out. So really, we've had to kind of revert back to, with as many people we have having to step up or rotate or move or play new positions, we've had to sacrifice some of that other time to go in and make sure we've got time that we can see formations, we can understand alignment on things. So it's become more a little bit of the mental aspect of the game that you have to kind of get in and make sure we're good, because we've had to move a lot of kids around. And then Friday night, unfortunately, at one point, we were down 5 kids in addition to what we had. And, we had to throw some kids in there and wound up playing multiple positions. Luckily, they're pretty sharp kids and able to do that for us. But, that's the change a little bit when you get to this point. And obviously, the further you get on here, you got to be smarter because you're trying to keep everybody well and do that. And again, it really should be more of a mental game when you get to that point.
Okay, good. Well, another opportunity this week and kind of a special game for you. We'll talk about it when we come back. It's the pregame interview with Leopards head coach Kevin Johnson. This is the Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa pregame show. You're watching Lorena Leopard football powered by Rogue Media.
Come see us at the Sonic in Lorena, 302 North Frontage Road. Rewards and half-price drinks on the app. Sign up today.
Tractors invites you to save big on their full lineup of new DYM tractors. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a full-time rancher, we offer tractors ranging from 25 to 75 horsepower. Why choose Epperson? They're proud to be the 2024 TYM Dealership of the Year. Come meet their expert team of tractor pros who can help you find the horsepower you need with a deal you'll love. Epperson Tractor Sales and Service, where service is in our name.
Welcome back into the pregame conversation with Leopards head coach Kevin Johnson. Coach, traveling up I-35 this week to take on the Connally Cadets. What can you tell us about Connally?
I mean, a good football team. I think we're similar in records. A lot of similarities. I know they played early on during the year, beat up. They had a lot of players out due to some injuries. They suffered early on. They're getting some kids back, the running backs back, which gives them another dimension on offense that helps them. But as always, they're a talented football team. They've got a lot of talent. They've got the Vincent kid who's a big D1 recruit over there that just does some amazing things. And it's really a matter of he's just a better athlete than just about everybody he lines up and faces. So, you got to have a game plan in for him, be able to play him as best you can. Some people have done it. Nobody's really been super successful with that yet. But, kudos to him. He's a great player. He's going to do some great things on Saturdays on that. So, yeah, I mean, they're a good football team. Their record does not show what kind of a football team they are. But we're going to have to be very disciplined and do a good job just fundamentally. Again, back to what I'd said earlier, with some of the moves we've had to make, we've kind of gone back into kind of a base kind of formation defense line just to eliminate some thinking and stuff, just because we've had so many new people fitting some deals. So we just got to get up and just go play, be free and go play and cut loose. And that's what our kids got to do.
Good. So kind of an interesting game for you. I know it is now your third year at the helm of Lorena, but really the first time going back to Mac Peoples Stadium as a head coach playing a district game. Kind of talk about what that's like for you, a little bit of nostalgia maybe as you spent some of your coaching career up in Lacey Lakeview.
Well, I mean, it's funny you said that. To be honest with you, it's not even. I hadn't even really thought about it all this week on that. I mean, we've just been preparing and getting ready for what we've got to do to get a win. And I hadn't really thought about it. But, yes, spent a lot of years there, spent a lot of really good years there. I guess it'll be a little different being on the opposite sideline in the same role capacity is a little different in there. Again, hadn't really thought about it. But, really what's important to me is our kids, love those kids, and I love our community. And, I just want us to go over there and do the very best we can. And never an easy place to play. And I know, as we mentioned earlier, weather could be a factor. And the Lorena Connally have had a long history of weather games. Coach Biles and I were part of two cancellation or actually delayed game where we had to cancel games, come back and play them on Saturdays. And both of them, Lorena had to travel back up to Connally on both of those. But yeah, we've had some really nasty games there. So looks like it may be a little bit like that this week. But look, I just want our kids to go. I don't worry about me or whatever. Connally was a good place for me, and Lorena's been an amazing place as well. And Lorena's where my heart is right now. So we're going to show up and go take care of our business.
All right. Well, going to be an exciting game, and I'm sure you'll have the boys ready to play. So best of luck tonight.
All right. Thank you, Jared.
All right. That is Lorena head coach Kevin Johnson. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and kickoff. It's the Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa pregame show. You're watching Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
Tough Shed is #1 for a reason. We started building sheds in 1981. Most of them are still standing. That's because our sheds are made to last right here in the USA. Customize yours to get exactly what you want. Then we deliver and install for you. With finance and payment options, you might be surprised at how affordable a Tough Shed is. Design your dream shed or garage at toughshed.com and visit our Waco showroom located at 7705 Woodway Drive near Santa Fe Drive. Dream, design, deliver, install.
Welcome back into Mac Peoples Stadium as the Connally Marching Band plays their school song. Billy, we've got a couple of minutes left. Want to make a quick announcement before we get to our keys to the game. Obviously, it's start time up to 6 p.m. tonight because of inclement weather that could be moving in the area. We want to let everyone know if the weather hits, we're in the visitor stands tonight, not a lot of cover. We may have to cut the broadcast short to cover up our equipment to make sure it doesn't get damaged. So we'll try to bring you all the action that we can, but should inclement weather impact that, we would have to get off the air.
Yeah, 100%. It's a safety, but also, we have a lot of expensive electronics out here in the stands. But we will do our very best to bring you as much Leopard football and hopefully a Leopard win.
All right, let's go ahead.
Yes, sir, Jared. The first one, key number 1, is going to be time in a bottle. Clock management on a game like tonight is going to be big. And really, to be totally honest with you, because there's weather rolling in, if you can have a running game, lean on your running game and sustain some long drives, keep that Connally Cadet offense off the field, protect your defense, play complementary football, I think that's a winning formula.
Definitely. I think second key we want to talk about is just kind of, down on the corner. The Lorena corners are going to have to be able to play one-on-one coverage tonight, and they've got to tackle in space. I know we've talked about Jamarion Vincent and everything that he brings to the table. Leopards may have to bracket him, but if they do that and Connally tries to go to the other side of the field, the backside corner's got to be able to guard him one-on-one, and they got to tackle in space.
Yeah, 100%. Tackle in space, absolutely. That's a big key tonight with the weapons that Connally has. And the last one, Jared, sticking with our music theme here, weather is often – have you ever seen the rain, right, is the next key. Weather is often a factor tonight. I think it's a guaranteed going to be a factor. Now, Connally has artificial turf, so, the footing shouldn't be that poor. But both of these teams like to throw the ball, right? And with the amount of weather, the kind of weather that's coming in, wind is a factor already without the rain. So it's going to be big. Which team manages that? Which team runs the ball better?
Definitely, and I think, we kind of talked about, for whatever reason, there always seems to be weather impacting Lorena and Connally. I've been part of several games where they've had to come back the next day and finish the game, where it's been rain, mud. Obviously, the turf will negate the mud part, but it's kind of one of those things about who wants to get messy, who wants to get down in the in all the wetness, the water on the field, and really go after it. And you mentioned it in the beginning of the broadcast, who wants it more?
100%. We always call that a phone booth game, right? When that weather rolls in, all the fancy spread, all that stuff kind of goes out the window, and you kind of have to play in tight quarters, and who can control the line of scrimmage is going to win the game, and who can tackle wet ball carriers.
Definitely. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa pregame show. Also want to thank Syntex Pawn and Bam Builders for their sponsorship of Lorena Leopard football, Yellow Rose Painting, Epperson Tractor. Again, just a fantastic year so far for Lorena Leopard football. I want to remind everyone to join us at halftime. We'll be joined by a special guest, a great friend of the program. So, again, welcome into Mac Peoples Stadium. Again, Jared Brown, Billy Rutherford on the call tonight. Josh Beard, the producer, as always. Zach Beard, our camera operator tonight. Justin Peebles, our engineer, getting us on the air. Clark Brown, our statistician, in lieu of Rick Jesperson tonight. So it should be a good one, Billy.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And hats off to Zach, our camera guy, Josh, our producer, and our great stat guy this evening filling in, one of my favorites. We will miss Rick Jesperson, but we look forward to seeing Titus play tonight, number 20 for the Leopards.
Rick's dad looking over at us saying, no, we really won't miss him. But we do. It's always good when you can have a pharmacist who has to know numbers for a living to keep people alive, directing our stats tonight. So I tell you what, Billy, as the colors come out to the field, of course, Connally, a great ROTC school. The colors are going to be presented by their Air Force ROTC. We'll go ahead and step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, it'll be time for kickoff. This is Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
What do I love about Yellow Rose? What I love about Yellow Rose is the connections, is getting to meet people and bring joy into their life, take their most important asset and make it more beautiful.
You'll find companies out there that are willing to sell you what you want to hear, but they won't stand behind what they sell you. And Yellow Rose Painting will stand behind that.
For more than 70 years, Community Bank and Trust has established a strong legacy of care and trust. Time and technology have changed. Checking and savings accounts haven't gone away. We still provide home loans, business loans, and personal loans. And we also offer state-of-the-art digital banking options. In a world where banking can feel impersonal, we still believe in one-on-one personal care. Community Bank and Trust, a legacy of dependability.
Member FDIC.
Welcome back in Mac People Stadium, the national anthem complete. The Air Force ROTC at Connally High School doing a phenomenal job, Billy, heading off the field. That's something that's actually kind of really cool about this Connally school. A lot of tradition being right close to the former James Connally Air Force Base, so steeped in the military tradition. It's always great to see them do the live presentation of the colors.
100%. That was nothing class act there. That was done justice to the greatest flag in the history of the world, in my opinion. And another some fun facts about the Connally Cadets and Connally itself. Connally Golf Course was my personal favorite. Playing Connally now, unfortunately, that course is no longer with us, but rest in peace, Connally Golf Course. And Kevin Taylor, Connally alumni, I believe 95 or 96. I remember playing against him and him scoring a couple key touchdowns against us when I was a sophomore. So shout out to Kevin Taylor. He's a school board member here at Lorena. He's been on, halftime guest. Love Kevin and everything he does for the community.
So we'll see the captains come out for the Leopards. Number 6, Justin Back. Number 5, Parker Bottoms. Number 8, Carson Miller. And number 2, Brody DeLeon. For the Cadets, it is number 2, C.J. Evans. Number 22, Braden Ford. And let me get the other number, I believe. That is number 14, Ty Brown, the captains for the Cadets. Billy, I like the Leopard uniforms tonight, going back to the traditional road unis, the red pants on the black, or the white jerseys rather, the black helmets. Connally countering in their home blue jerseys with the silver pants and the silver helmets.
100%. I've always loved this Leopard look with the red pants, the white jersey, and used to be a red helmet, but now a black helmet with the metallic red Power Cat Leopard on the hat. So big fan of the look from both teams. This is a great uni matchup. Connally's given the Air Force Academy vibes, with their kind of look tonight. And a beautiful night. I know that we're waiting on some poor weather to move in, but as it states right now, an ideal night for football. A little windy, but that summer heat and humidity starting to blow off, Jared, and it's finally starting to feel like some football weather.
Definitely. Connally won the toss, deferred their choice to the second half, so the Leopards will receive. They will defend the goal to the north. Connally will kick off and defend the goal to the south. So the Cadets will have the wind in the first quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how the Leopards go ahead and try to attack the Connally defense with the wind in their face. Again, Brody DeLeon back in the lineup tonight after missing last week out with concussion protocol. But he is told he is ready to go, and if anything you know about Brody DeLeon, he will be chomping at the bit.
Yeah, like I talked about Adrian Medina being that spiritual energy leader for the defense. That's kind of what Brody is for the offense. Now, the offense has a couple of those guys, but Brody is a very key piece to it. Love to see Trigger Niemeyer, too, get back in the mix tonight in full pads. I know he's itching to get back out there, and he's also kind of the heart and soul of that offensive line that we know has been banged up. But that's a battle-tested group. That group gets better every week. That's a testament to Coach Johnson and Coach Cool. That's a really talented group.
So we are ready to go, get underway. It is going to be Alan Martinez-Tellez with the ball on the tee for the Cadets. Leopard horns blowing here in the stands, and here we go. Toe meets leather. Kick up the middle of the field. It'll be taken by Brock DeLeon at the 10-yard line across the 20. A little bit of room to run across the 25, cuts up across the 30, and he'll be all the way out to the 38-yard line. Good return for Brock DeLeon.
Really nice vision there by Brock DeLeon. He ran actually to the far side hash, cut back to where the Leopard blocks were set up. Nice blocking by the Leopard return team, set him up with really nice field possession, Jared.
So we see the Leopards come out, and it's Hunter Deloney still out there at right tackle for the Leopards. Brandon Campbell, the right guard. Landon Manus, the center. No Harden, the left guard. Brock Maggard, the left tackle. Jackson Blance at the quarterback with Brody DeLeon in the backfield. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon, flags fly. And I think, Billy, it's going to be motion against the Leopards.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Pre-snap penalties, we talk about it a lot. Don't want to beat a dead horse here, but looks like an unforced turnover in basketball, right? Get you behind the chains early. It's not how you want to start.
Leopards have a lot of motion on that first play, and I just don't think they quite got set for the full second before snapping the ball. So it'll back them up 5 yards. Back to the 33-yard line. Snap back. This time DeLeon up the middle. Big gain across the 40-yard line. He'll be down at about the 42. So a pick up a 7 on first down.
Yeah, really nice inside zone there, a gap scheme. We see the Leopards changing up a little bit. We've seen a lot of zone blocking. That time they actually ran a little gap scheme there. Big play. And a little bit chippy already, Jared. There's a little extracurricular after the whistle. So we'll see how that materializes.
So second down, call it 7. Blancett in the back by himself. Little flare out to Sloan Blackwell. All kinds of room. Blackwell makes a man miss, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds. Looks like he's about a yard short. Interesting there, Billy, as Blackwell kind of slowed up. I think he was maybe looking to make a move, but kind of went backwards, and the Leopards have 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and that was on the far sideline without the yardage markers. I think if that's on the Leopard sideline, he probably lowers his shoulders and gets a first down there.
Not sure why we don't have a yard marker on the far side, but it's 3rd down and 1 for the Leopards. DeLeon and Blancett in the backfield. Blancett takes a snap. This time he'll keep it. He'll fall forward for a couple of yards. Big hit by Connally, but Jackson Blancett will be across for an Epperson Tractor first down.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice, strong run there by Jackson Blancett. He knew exactly the yardage he needed to get. Good, tough run from the quarterback. You don't want him to take a ton of those hits, but on 3rd and short on the opening drive, I think that's definitely a nice play call.
So Leopards will have it 1st and 10 right at midfield. Call comes in from the Leopards sideline. Assistant coach Brandon Graves sends the signals in. See Espinosa come in motion, snap back. Blancett pulls it down. He's going to flare it out to Blackwell on the left side. Got some room to run. He'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. He'll be real close to another Epperson Tractor first down.
Really nice throw there by Jackson Blancett there. That ball was on time, but he waited to let Sloan Blackwell clear the coverage. And I think we're seeing already that the Connally Cadet defense is having a hard time matching up against Blackwell.
So 2nd down and 1. 2 receivers to the right. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon running left. Behind that big offensive line, they get a big push all the way down inside the 35. Behind the left side there, Brock Maggard really out there, Brandon Campbell as well, and it's another Epperson Tractor first down.
Yeah, so far on this drive, Brock Maggard has had his way with the Connally defenders. When I spoke previously about the extracurriculars, the Connally defender kind of retaliating, but so far 72 for Lorena, really playing well.
First down, snap back, hand off to DeLeon, running right. Big hole on the right side. Brandon Campbell opens a huge hole, Billy. Big gain for DeLeon on first down. give him about 6.
Yeah, and I think if you're a Leopard fan and you had any questions on whether or not that offensive line, how they were going to come out, they're ready. They're moving cadets off the ball, opening up huge running lanes for Brody DeLeon, which is really great news for this Leopard offense.
Definitely. Second down, call it. Give him a gain of 8, maybe 2nd and 2, long 2. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon. Gets past the blitz. He's tripped up. That is number 4, Adrian Hernandez. And if he doesn't make the tackle, Billy, DeLeon might score.
Yeah, and you're already seeing Connally's coaching staff there. They're starting to blitz, right? They don't feel like they can defend the Leopard rushing attack with just the numbers they have in the box. What that'll do, to your point, Jared, is if Brody can just break one tackle there, he's off to the races because that second level of defense is no longer there.
So first down for the Leopards. Ball at the 22-yard line. A couple of receivers to the right. Blancett takes a snap, looks to throw. Now he's going to be flushed out of the pocket, fires. He's got Carson Miller out on the right side, a little bit out of the reach of Miller. But, Billy, we're seeing a lot of these underneath routes be open for the Leopards.
100%. And, I will say this is something that is, I think, applicable. Connally's running a base 3-man front, which is what Lorena runs. So the Leopards have seen a 3-man front a ton in practice during camp. And you can see that even that time Connally brought pressure, the Leopard offensive line picked it up pretty well. But a really nice job there by Jackson Blancett of stepping up in the pocket and throwing a ball. And that's a ball I think Carson Miller will see on films and want back.
So second down and 10. 3 receivers to the right now. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon. Trips in the backfield. Falls forward. He'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll have to see where they mark him. But it looked like the turf monster got him there, Billy.
Yeah, Connally's 12th man, the turf here got Brody there. But there was a huge running lane, and I think if you're going to run to the left side of that Leopard front, you have Maggard over there who's really having his way with the end. There's a lot of running room over there.
So third down, about 11, long 10, if you will. Empty backfield. Blancett's going to a little shovel pass to DeLeon. A lot of room to run. Tries to cut back again. Slipped on the turf. He's going to be hemmed up after a short gain, Billy. But interesting because it'll go down as a pass completion for Jackson Blancett, but it's kind of an extension to that running game.
Yeah, and we've seen so far Brody slip a couple times. He was out last week, right? So it could just be getting back into the game flow because this is artificial turf. But I think what you see from Brody, too, is he's really trying to make that big play because there's plays to be made out there. And again, a nice job. That play was blocked very well, but Connally, rallied to the football.
So fourth down and 8. Leopards offense is going to stay out on the field and go for it. Ball at the 20-yard line. See a lot of movement in motion. Now Carson Miller will go in motion. Snap back to Blancett. And a flag down. And it's going to be a false start against the Leopards. It's kind of the one thing with that motion man going in late is he tends to kind of maybe takes that step forward too quickly. And they're calling it pretty tight tonight.
Yeah, a little sloppy here in the first drive for the Leopards formationally. But I really like what they had set up there. They had Brody DeLeon one-on-one with an outside linebacker down here. I wouldn't doubt we may see that same exact play call because we've seen Brody being utilized in the passing game, and Jackson throws that wheel route so well. We may see them come back to that at some point in the game.
So Leopards are going to have a stacked formation on either side of receiver. DeLeon in the backfield. Now Blancett going to be flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to be tackled from behind. That is number 21, Idris Lee, who's going to tackle Blancett from behind, and the Leopards will turn it over on downs. So not a bad first drive, Billy, but definitely one the Leopards are going to look back at and go, man, maybe we could have got points on that.
Well, in Connally they dropped 8, right? They rushed 3 and dropped 8. And what you want to see out of the Leopard receivers, knowing it's a zone, knowing you get to the first down yardage, right? A lot of those routes were running into the end zone, which I understand. But on fourth down, you just got to find a pocket open, help your quarterback out, right? Come back to the ball. Make sure you're on the other side of the chains, but just find a space there for your quarterback. But nice opening drive, but you need points in a game like this, so it's on the Leopard defense here to get a hold.
So Caden Kaufman, the quarterback for Connally. Snap back to him. It's going to be a little run. It's a broken tackle left and right. That is Raheem Fluker, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds into Leopard territory at the Lorena 48.
Yeah, Jared, I think we're going to see a lot of that tonight. Watching the junior high games last night, they used a lot of that kind of jet sweep, almost like an end-around reverse-type motion as a change-up to their inside power run. They ran it quite a bit last night, too, with a lot of success, and we see there already a big gain.
So 1st and 10, ball in Lorena territory. Coffin in the shotgun, flanked by Braden Ford. Handoff to Ford. Breaks a tackle, but not two. Good job. I believe that's Parker Bottoms getting in there and making that tackle. Minimal gain on 1st down.
Yeah, 100%, Jared. I mean, we're sitting right here on the 50, so we had a great view of the line of scrimmage. And that Leopard front 5, the linebackers and defensive line, are not being pushed off the ball. Like, they're holding the point of attack, which, you know, if they can hold that up, I like their chances tonight.
Good to see Hudson Griffin back in the game, along with Mason Sears. Trey Frosch, 2nd down, handoff to Ford. And again, another good job. Trey Moore coming in and making a solid hit on 2nd down, a pickup of about 2. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Jared, and again, like, you know, if you look at the Leopard season, that run has been kind of their Achilles heel. And tonight we've seen it twice in a row, them defend it extremely well. Now they're going to have eye discipline now because obviously this is a passing situation, so you got to make sure that you know where number 0 is for Connally.
We see Jackson Blancett out on the corner guarding Jamarion Vincent. Snap back, Coffin looking that way, and is going to be incomplete, intended for C.J. Evans, but a great job by Kaysen Conlon getting there right at the last minute to disrupt the ball and knock it loose.
Yeah, I love how Kaysen Conlon plays in space, right? Kaysen, he has like a free safety cornerback, body awareness in space, really talented athlete, but he's strong enough and he's aggressive enough to play inside as well. I like the tools that young man has, and I think that if he can hold up the flank and set the edge, I think that's going to really help Lorena try to contain Vincent tonight.
So that's going to set up a punting situation for Connally. Alan Martinez-Tellez doubling as the punter and kicker. Snap back a little bit high. Ball's going to go out of bounds, but there's going to a flag down. Looked like Sloan Blackwell kind of was going for the block and hit him, and it's going to be a personal foul. It'll be 15 yards, and it'll be a 1st down for Connally.
Yeah, Jared, that's the 3rd big penalty against the Leopards already in this 1st quarter with 5:15 remaining. 3 really big penalties already for the Leopards early. This one taking a possession away.
Well, we talked about, Billy, if you can find a way to steal possessions in this game and run the football, keep the clock going, then you got a chance to really kind of use the time of possession as a weapon.
Yeah, 100%, and that's one of those things now. This is when the leadership on defense is going to be big, right? Because that's deflating for a defender. But now is when you got to ratchet up and step up the most, right? You just got a good stop. You're playing well on the inside. Continue that momentum and don't let that penalty let you have a big play lapse here.
Javion King joins Ford and Kaufman in the backfield. Snapback handoff to Kaufman running left. He'll pick up about 4 on 1st down.
Yeah, and we see the Leopards tonight already. They're setting the edge of the defense much better this week. They're holding up well inside. So, I like their run fits, right? Now that was a 6-yard gain, but still, we've seen previously, that kind of squirt out a little bit. Good job of setting the edge of the defense, letting the rest of the defense flow to the ball.
2nd down and 6. This time it is Javion King, the ball carrier. He'll pick up a couple of more. He'll be near a 1st down. They're going to say he's got enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, and you see Connally here. They tested the middle of that Leopard defensive line and defense. They tested the right. Now they're testing their left side, but the Leopard right side, and they're getting some yards here in the running game.
So 1st and 10 for the Cadets. Ball at the Lorena 20. Cuffing back. Going to throw. Makes the man miss. Now he's going to take off running. He'll scramble, pick up about 5 on 1st down.
Yeah, and so far the Leopard secondary has been up to the task. We spoke to the changes they made. You got Jackson Blancett out there, the starting quarterback. You got Brody DeLeon. Previous in the year, Leopards were trying not to go both ways. They were trying to platoon. But in a game like this, you got to have some, your best athletes on the field, especially how banged up the Leopards are. So far, the Leopard secondary holding up.
Going to give him 6 on 1st down, 2nd and 4 from the 14. King and Fluker. Rather, Ford in the backfield. That's Ford. He cuts up. He'll have enough for the 1st down, but a good job by the Leopard defense to kind of contain him in the middle.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays that Kaysen Collins is not going to get a credit for on the stat line, but he set the edge from his outside linebacker spot. That ball carrier initially wanted to go outside. Conlon set the edge. He had to go back inside and allowed his teammates to make the stop. So it's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but already making a big impact in the game, 25 for the Leopards.
So Ford and Javion King on either side of Kaufman. Kaufman's going to keep it this time, breaks one tackle, but can't escape Kason Conlon, who takes him down. He'll pick up about 4. It was 3rd and 2, Billy, and he'll have enough for the first down.
Yeah, and we talked about it pregame, Jared. I mean, tackling. The Leopards had an unblocked guy. It was a great call. You had a guy come right through to the play side gap and just wasn't able to get the ball carrier down.
So 1st and goal for the Cadets. Ball at the 6. Snap back, hand it off. I believe that is number 10, Javion King. He's stopped right at the point of attack. Give him maybe a gain of 2.
You got a Leopard down here, Jared. A couple of them.
Certainly not what we want to see. We'll try to see who that is. We see Mason Sears hobbling off the field. Isaac Diaz goes out to check on the Leopard, still on the ground. Have to wait to get a number on him, but this Leopard defense kind of bending but not breaking so far in this first quarter. So Leopards are going to come over to the sideline. Kevin Johnson now joins Leopards head athletic trainer Isaac Diaz. I still can't see his number out there, Billy.
I can't either. He's up on his feet.
Looks like it's number 16, Preston Powell. So Powell, one of those super sophomores that's really made an impact on the defensive side of the ball this year.
We know Jared now that we know that he's up on his own volition and getting off the field. Hope that young man's okay, certainly. But Frosch, 58 for Lorena, having a really big first quarter. He's a Joe Pack alumni from earlier in the year, plays that zero tech nose guard, and that's such an important position in a 3-4 defense or 3-3-5. He's playing extremely well early in this game.
So see Branson Ocasio come back on the field along with Ty Hatton and Chase Rohde across that defensive front. You've got Sloan Blackwell at a linebacker position. Trey Moore is in there. Parker Bottoms and Kason Conlon. Chase Horn out on one corner. Jackson Blanson on the other. So it'll be 2nd and goal. It's Marion Vincent in motion. They're going to hand it off to Ford. He's going to bowl over Trey Moore. And Braden Ford goes into the end zone for the Connally touchdown.
Yeah, and in short yardage situations, we've seen Connally bring in another, I'm assuming it's an offensive lineman, number 51 for Connally. They bring him in as a tight end to really add a 6th offensive lineman into the game, and they ran right behind that young man. Good hard run there for the Connally Cadets, and a nice job of capitalizing on the Leopard mental error with the, the roughing the kicker penalty.
So Alan Martinez-Tellez on to attempt the extra point for the Cadets. Snap back, kick is up and good. And with 2:54 left to go in the first quarter, Connally takes the early lead 7-0. We'll take a break and come right back. It's the Syntex Pawn broadcast of Lorena Leopard football.
Tractors invites you to save big on their full lineup of new TYM tractors. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a full-time rancher, we offer tractors ranging from 25 to 75 horsepower. Why choose Epperson? They're proud to be the 2024 TYM Dealership of the Year. Come meet their experts.
Welcome back in. Connally leads 7-0. All the yards coming on the ground in that first drive. 56 yards, and they take the early 7-0 lead.
And, Jared, penalties, right? We've seen a handful already for the Leopards here in the first quarter, and one directly correlating to a touchdown for Connally.
So a short kickoff It's going to be fielded. Looked like Titus Jesperson fields it over there. Not sure if his knee was on the ground. Correction, Preston Powell fields it over there. I guess his knee was down. Billy didn't have a chance to run it back. And Leopards will have it 1st and 10. Not bad field position at their own 30.
Yeah, nice job by Preston, too. That was kind of a weird kick. It was like a tornado-type kick. The ball was spiraling down. So the moment that ball hits the turf, you don't have any idea what it's going to do. So nice job by that young man of just fielding it like a shortstop or third baseman.
So Leopards will have it 1st and 10 at their own 30. Snap back, handoff to Brody DeLeon. Cuts back up the middle. He's across the 35, almost out to the 40. He'll have about 9 on 1st down. Brody DeLeon with some tough running.
Yeah, and I know the Leopard offense wants to be balanced, and I know they have a ton of weapons, but the Leopard front right now is moving the line of scrimmage. I think you just stick with the run. Like, just keep pounding the football, keep that clock going, let your defense make some adjustments.
It was enough for an Epperson Tractor 1st down. Leopards working quickly. Handed back to DeLeon. Nowhere to go this time. Cadets come on a blitz. And now DeLeon's helmet's going to come off. Not what we want to see. And so he'll have to come out for a play.
When you saw there, Connally, like they're selling out in obvious run situations. So I may actually have to go back on what I just said. Maybe, sprinkle in a play action or the RPO game to Carson Miller or Zachary Espinosa, because there's plays to be made in that secondary. Because Connally's defense coordinator right now thinks that he's going to have to give 7 guys in the box to stop this Leopard running game.
Another blitz by Connally. Blancett flares out. He's going to fire a fastball. It's going to be caught on the far sideline. That is Brock DeLeon. As we like to say, Billy, it is Brock o'clock. He is going to have almost another Epperson Tractor 1st down.
And, Jared, I think what's the most impressive part of that play is Jackson Blancett's play fake. The entire Connally defense was chasing the running back. He executed the play fake so precisely that he bought so much time. And what a throw and catch.
Bring up 3rd down and 1. Connally showing blitz. He'll hand it off to DeLeon. He'll put his head down. He'll bowl over the defender. He'll fall forward. He'll pick up 3 yards. But running over Adrian Hernandez is Brody DeLeon to pick up an Epperson Tractor 1st down.
Great strong run by Brody DeLeon. And what I like as well is Brock, his brother, out there on Connally's best offensive player. Every play, roughing him up legally, of course, putting a block on him. Those are body blows. He's playing both ways. That may slow him down a little bit on offense.
1st and 10, snap back. Blancett fakes this time. Has it out to Brock DeLeon. Tries to slip a tackle, can't quite get it. He'll have enough. We'll have to see where they mark it, but he should be into Connally territory. They'll mark him just short of the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, we need to get with Coach DeLeon and find out what he's feeding his boys, because both of those young men are so tough. They play so physical. It's just something you wish you could share with everyone, because I like the way both of those kids are made.
So 2nd and 2. Hand off to DeLeon running left. This time he keeps his feet, turns the corner, 40, 35, 30, and he'll step out of bounds. Smart play there as he picks up another 1st down.
Yeah, great point, Jared. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. He got the yards, picked up the 1st down. You had 4 Connally defenders sitting there waiting to drop the boom on him. He scampers out of bounds. And that's a very, very mature play from that young man, because we've seen it. The Leopards need number 2 in the game to be effective in the running game.
So it is an Epperson Tractor 1st down. Leopards moving. Hand off to DeLeon running right. And he'll have another big gain, call it 8 on 1st down.
Absolutely. Leopard fans here making tons of noise with their vuvuzelas, if you remember the old World Cup. But again, the running game, right? And there's pass plays to be made, but I love what the Leopards are doing, right? Protect your quarterback a little bit. A lot of times this year, the Lorena has been in situations where the defense knows that Jackson's just going to have to drop back and throw it, and they pin the ears back. Stay balanced. Let that running game materialize, and your play-action game is going to be there.
So 1st and 10. Blancett's going to fake this time. Nowhere to go with it. He'll step up in the pocket, break a couple of tackles, Billy. He'll fall forward for a couple of yards, but kind of a busted play. But Blancett makes something out of nothing.
Yeah, and tonight you already see number 10 for Lorena, Jackson Blancett, dialed in, because right there his primary and secondary read were both covered. And he didn't just go down. He didn't force the football. He lowered his shoulder and got 3 or 4 yards when that should have been probably a sack.
Well, the clock is going to roll down to the end of this 1st quarter. A quick one. Connally leads 7-0. We'll take a break and come right back. It is the Syntex Pawn broadcast of Lorena Leopard football.
Syntex Pawn, Waco, Hewitt, Temple, and Killeen. Here to help you with all your cash flow needs. Bring in all items of value for quick, hassle-free loans or sell them at a fair value and receive the best customer service in Central Texas. From Rolexes to firearms, our experienced staff is here to help when you need cash with compassion and understanding. Check out our Google reviews and come see for yourself. We are proud supporters of Lorena Leopard football. Syntex Pond. We are not in the loan or merchandise business. We are in the people business. Come check us out.
Looking to build the home of your dreams? Look no further than BAM Builders, your trusted local custom home builder. From foundation to finish, BAM brings your vision to life with quality, craftsmanship, and a team that truly cares. It's time to build something amazing right here in Leopard Country. Call 254-716-9987 or visit builtbybam.com to get started. That's builtbybam.com. BAM Builder.
The teams will switch ends. Connally leading 7-0. Billy, when we take a look at the stats in the first half, Brody Daly on the bell cow, 9 carries for 49 yards. Blancett adding 6 yards on the ground, but through the air, Jackson 5 of 6 for 36 yards. Daly on a couple of catches. Sloan Blackwell a couple of catches as well. We get back to play. Snap back. Blancett to Brock Daly on again. It'll be a pickup of about 5 yards. And it'll bring up about, call it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I love how this Leopard coaching staff attacks defenses. That time you had another levels concept. That's a zone beater, but you have a man beater concept with Brody Daly on, like a really nice play call.
3rd down and 1. Snap back. Blancett going to keep it this time. He'll fall forward to the 19. We'll have to see where they mark him. It is going to be an Epperson Tractor first down.
Yeah, and Campbell there blew a tire. His shoe came off, so he's going to have to come out. And Trigger Niemeyer, much to the applause of the Leopard faithful here. Everyone loves to see 71 back in there. You know, big, the heart and soul of this, the senior on this Leopard offensive line. He comes in for at least one play, so it's good to see 71 back out there.
So we'll see Deloney slip over to right guard, Niemeyer the right tackle. 1st and 10 for the Leopards. Snap back. Blancett looking to throw. He's got a man in the corner. Leaping up and making the catch is Carson Miller. Touchdown, Lorena Leopards. Touchdown, Carson Miller.
Yeah, a great throw there by Jackson Blancett. Great protection at the point of attack. And what a catch by Carson Miller. Like, body control, had the wherewithal. That was an NFL touchdown. You only need 1 in high school. He got 2 down there. And here are the Leopards in the swinging gate, Jared. So it looks like we got a little razzle-dazzle.
Billy, we kind of talked about off the air about maybe wanting to throw in some wrinkles here to get into the later part of the season, but I think here you got to take the extra point. So Connor Johnson on to attempt the point after. Snap back, kick is up, and it's good. And with 10:57 left to go in the second quarter, the Leopards answer back with a touchdown pass of their own. They tie this game at 7. We'll take a break. You're watching the BAM Builders broadcast of Lorena Leopard football.
I'm Rusty Robinson with Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa, where quality and design makes the difference. We specialize in gunite pools, remodels, fiberglass pools. We've got all the selections here in the office between your tile, your coping, your veneer, top of the line equipment, concrete finishes, and anything else that you need. We've got glass tiles, pebble plaster, top of the line travertine coping, and 3cm, 5cm bullnose, anything that you could want on the pool. We're going to come out to the house, do a 3D design, get everything you need so that we can see your house, your pool, in your yard so that we can make any adjustments.
Back in, Billy, Jackson Blancett to Carson Miller, 14 yards, and the Leopards tie it up at 7.
Yeah, what I like the most is the balance. Not a ton of risky throws, right? Like controlling the line of scrimmage. And when you can control the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball, you kind of dictate what's going to happen, right? And you see that what a drive there for the Leopards. You have the penalty on the punt. You give up the touchdown. It looks like momentum's on Connally's side, and you just go down the field and score and tie the game. And that's such a big energy type drive for the Leopard offense.
So Connor Johnson with it on the tee. This time he will drive it deep with the wind at his back. It'll bounce 5 yards deep into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And, Billy, that's kind of what we wanted to see is don't give Connally, a team full of dynamic athletes, the opportunity to return a kick.
Yeah, and if you're just tuning in, Jared and I and the crew are in the bleachers, the visitor bleachers. And some of the cheerleaders for Lorena, like if Jackson Blancett goes down and they need maybe like a quarterback, some of those girls down there got quite an arm. I just saw one of them chunk a T-shirt, almost hit us, and we're on the top step. So good arm talent down there, Jared.
So Caden Kaufman back out at quarterback for the Cadets. Braden Ford joins him in the backfield. Snap back, hand off to Ford, running right, hesitation. Gets through, but he's going to be slung down by Brody DeLeon. It'll be a pickup of 9 on first down.
Yeah, Jared, and we talked pregame a little bit about that defensive line and, like, not getting too far upfield, right? And that's a tough task because if you're whipping the guy in front of you, you want to get upfield, but we saw that there. Sloan Blackwell got upfield, really beat his guy, but the second level wasn't in place, and it gave a running lane.
So 2nd down and 1, snap back, hand off to Ford, running right. He'll get past 1 tackle, but not 2. Jackson Blancett comes up, knocks him off his pins. He'll pick up 3. It's enough for a first down, but again, Leopard's doing well not to give up the big play.
100%, and I think that if you're a Leopard defender, right, like you're going to give up yards. Everyone gives up yards, especially in this day and age in football, especially with the talent Connally has. But tackle, right? Make Connally drive down the field. And more importantly, don't commit any penalties or give them any free yards.
Snap back to Kaufman, hand off to Ford once again. He's almost ripped down. I believe that was Preston Powell, kind of turned him around. It'll be a minimal gain on first down. Trey Frosch getting in there as well.
Yeah, Frosch playing extremely well, and it's really nice to see Powell back out there on defense, being active. He's, like I said, one of those sophomores we've talked about a lot this year. Been playing extremely well. So far, the Leopard defensive line, their front 7 defensive line of linebackers are up to the task against this Connally running game.
So 2nd down, call it 8. Ball spotted at the Connally 40-yard line. Leopard show blitz, hand off to Ford, running right. Cuts back up, breaks the tackle across midfield. He'll be knocked out of bounds, but not before a big gain for Braden Ford. It'll be into Lorena territory all the way down to the 43.
Yeah, and that time we saw Powell again, Preston Powell, get about 4 yards penetration there, driving his guard into the backfield. But unfortunately, the rest of the Leopard defense wasn't able to get off their blocks, and it provided a running lane.
So 1st and 10 at the 43 of the Leopards. 9:19 on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Snap back. Pass out to, that is going to be Jamarian Vincent, but Jackson Blancett gets off the block, and he's going to tackle Vincent for a loss of 2.
Yeah, really nice job tackling in space, and it looked like a false start to start the play. And we've seen a couple blocks in the back against the Leopard defense that have not been called yet. I have to assume if that continues, the flags are going to come out at some point because that one was pretty egregious there on the far sideline. But nevertheless, a nice stop there on first down for the Leopards.
2nd down at 12, ball back at the 45-yard line. Snap back to Kaufman. He'll fake to Ford. Now going to be pushed out of the way. He'll scramble forward for a few. But another good job of that Leopard defense. Trey Moore getting in there and tackling him for the short game.
Yeah, Trey Moore is like, we talked about the Swiss Army knife. You kind of put him anywhere. We saw him play running back last week. He's played tight end, now playing linebacker. And he just kind of does everything well, right? High football IQ, really nice, nose for the football.
So 3rd down and 9. You got Jamarian Vincent on the far side, Jackson Blancett opposite him. Katie Linville down at the bottom. Brody DeLeon opposite him. Snap back, fake to Ford. They're going to throw it out to Vincent. It hits him in the hands and falls incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 9. Kind of in no man's land, Billy. We'll see what the Cadets decide to do. It looks like they're going to send their punting unit out.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is a little bit of frustration there by Vincent because he was trying to run after the catch. And generally you don't do that if you're getting open a lot, right? So that's his first opportunity to really make a play. He tried to press a little bit, missed the ball. So that's a testament to the coverage the Leopard secondary has been putting on him all game.
So Leopard's only going to send one defender or one returner back. Snap back, it's going to go over the head of Tellez. Now he's got to run with it. He's going to break a tackle. It looks like Jackson Blancett got a piece of it, so no flag comes out as he hit Martinez Tellez. It'll go down as a partial block, Billy, and the Leopards kind of dodge a bullet there, but also going to have great field position.
Yeah, and I don't know how many quarterbacks you'll see block a punt at the high school level, but also block a punt and lower an absolute booming shot on the punter. Nice to see the punter get up, and Jackson helped him up. But big-time play for the Leopard special teams unit. We talked about that third phase, Jared, being so important in a game like this. Leopards with a lot of momentum right now on offense. We'll see if they stick with the run or maybe take a shot here with the win at their back.
Leopards will have it 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. 7:47 left to go here in the first half. Game all deadlocked at 7. Blanchett takes the snap. He'll hand it off to DeLeon. Running left. He'll sidestep a tackle, fall forward across the 45 to the 46, give him 6 on first down.
Yeah, and you get a sense from watching the play calls and kind of what the Leopards are doing that they feel really good about what Connally's trying to do against them scheme-wise right there. They're getting the 6-yard carry right off the inside left zone. But you get a sense that PB House may be setting them up for something here coming up.
Second down, 4, snap back, handoff to DeLeon, running right. Big wall by the offensive line. DeLeon tries to cut back, nothing doing. He'll actually lose about a half yard on second down.
Yeah, that's a really nice job from the Connally front, right? We've been talking about the Leopards and how that offensive line's been leaning on them, but that time they were able to get some penetration, and you see what penetration does to a running game, right? You got to block those guys inside first or nothing works. So nice job by Connally there getting some penetration, but Lorena still with third and manageable here, setting up here right around midfield.
So third down and 5. Ball will be at the 45-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. DeLeon and Blanchett in the backfield. Now Espinosa will go in motion. Snap back. This time they'll hand it off to DeLeon. He'll cut back. He'll push the pile. He'll be just shy of midfield. Don't know if they'll give him the 49 or not, but it will be 4th down and 1.
Yeah, and right now the Lorena QB is deploring his coaches to go for it. And it looks like he's going to get his wish as Coach Johnson takes the time out to think about it.
Yeah, I think so, Billy. We'll keep it right here as Lorena's going to take their first time out of the game. Try to get some stat updates here. But really, we talked about momentum, and the Leopards get the partial block. They get good field position. Running the ball tough. Connally doing a good job on defense, but now you've got a huge play at 4th and 1.
Yeah, 4th and 1, and we normally you would see in the old days under center quarterback sneak. Most coaches don't like to go under center because you don't do it very often. So this is a tougher pickup than a lot of people think.
So DeLeon, 58 yards on 12 carries. Blanchett has 5 carries for 8 yards, but a lot of that's been kind of scrambling and falling forward. But obviously, when you've got a quarterback that's 6'4", 6'5", you only need 3 feet. You may see a kind of the zone read here, and Jackson may keep it. Receiving-wise, Brock DeLeon 3 catches, 24 yards. Sloan Blackwell a couple of catches, 15 yards. Carson Miller the big 14-yard touchdown catch, and Brody DeLeon has a catch as well. So Leopards are going to come back out.
Yeah, Jared, it'll be interesting to see if the Lorena goes to like a downhill type running scheme or if they're going to run the zone read. They've had success with both. But I also wouldn't count on a play action here as well.
Well, we see it's kind of a wildcat formation. DeLeon going to take the snap directly, go behind Trey Moore and Jackson Blanchett. He'll cross midfield. He'll have enough for the Epperson Tractor first down. New wrinkle we hadn't seen yet, Billy. Leopards bring it out here and pick up the first down.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Rhino package that we used to see a lot in the previous years. That was the identity of the Leopard offense for a long, long time. But really nice job by the Leopards. They pick up the first down. Good downhill running game there by Brody DeLeon. The Leopards here in business with rhythm and, like we said, Jared, ball control, complimentary football. They're driving.
DeLeon going to go out in motion on first down. Blanchett looks to pass. Brock Maggard doing a good job out one-on-one. Man downfield is Sloan Blackwell. Can't make the catch, and Blackwell kind of comes up hobbling a little bit, Billy.
Yeah, we hope that young man's okay because he's a big part of this Leopard offense. But really nice protection by the Leopard offensive line, and the wind definitely affected that ball in the air. You can see it. It's a little deceiving. It doesn't feel, but it's gusty. You can see that it kind of took the ball a little bit out, and at that time Sloan was like kind of in no man's land with his route. You're looking over your shoulder, but you don't really know which one to look over.
So second down and 10, snap back, handoff to DeLeon, running right. Big hole. He's going to pick up about 7 on second down. Brock Maggard's helmet goes flying across the field.
Yeah, Jared, I saw it. It was completely ripped off his head by a Connally defender right in front of the chief referee. Leopard coaching staff obviously saw it as well. I think the referees are letting him play a little bit, maybe too much. We've seen a couple games get out of whack because of that, but nevertheless, Leopards here with 3rd and short.
So 3rd down and 3. Snap back. Blanchett going to look to throw. Now he's going to cut back through the middle. Make a couple of guys miss. He'll dive forward inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line. nice play by Jackson Blanchett and an Epperson Tractor first down.
See, that's a football IQ play because the Leopards ran a play action. Connally didn't bite on it, so Jackson just scrambled where the gap was for the play action, knowing that Connally wasn't over leveraged there. So he basically just turned the play action into the run that was initially called. Really nice job there. That's a high football IQ play there. And like I said, it looked simple, but like that was by design by him. He picked that hole.
So 1st and 10. Ball at the 26-yard line. Snap back. Blanchett looking to pass. Now he's going to take off running again. Got a lot of room on the left side. He'll be run out of bounds about the 22-yard line. 23, call it a pickup of maybe 2, but a good job continuing to move forward.
Yeah, Jared, and we talk about sometimes the best play you make on a drive is the throw you don't make, right? That time Connally dropped 8 again. They're trying to make tight windows. Jackson's primary, secondary, third receiver wasn't there. He didn't force the football. He just patiently scampered out and got a pickup on first down.
2nd down call at 7. They'll give him 3 on first down. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line. Snap back, Blanchett looking. Fires it over to Zachary Espinosa. Espinosa kind of thrown down. He'll pick up about 4 on 2nd down.
And Jared, I know that we've been spoiled as fans because we're used to seeing the Leopards fling it all over the field and score on 3 or 4 play drives. But that was a great read, nice play call. Like, pick up the yards, making another 3rd and manageable, right? The entire playbook is at your disposal. And more importantly, clock still ticking. You're in control of the football.
3rd down and 3. Ball at the 19. Snap back to DeLeon. Connally comes on a blitz. That is number 1 knifing through Vayshawn Richardson. He's going to take DeLeon down for, looks like he'll even lose a yard. And that's going to make it 4th down and about 4.
Yeah, and what you're seeing again, Jared, you're seeing Connally having to commit guys to stop the running game. And that's something later in the game, Jackson's going to pull that ball out, and you're going to have a wide-open guy just behind him. So the Leopards are in control of the line of scrimmage, which is making Connally gamble a little bit. They won on that down, but now Connor Johnson lines up for a field goal.
Leopards are going to have to hurry. Play clock at 6. Everybody needs to get down. And Leopards are going to have to call timeout. And that's one of those things I think maybe they were talking about, do they go for it, do they kick the field goal, and then send the field goal unit out there a little bit late. But then also I think the Leopard, the kicking team's got to know how much time's on that clock. They kind of jogged out there a little bit. I think they thought they had more time than they did.
Yeah, 100%. But, I like the timeout. Of course, you don't want to get a delay of game penalty. But if there's any indecision or you don't feel great about the setup, you've got timeouts. You can't take them with you to the second half. Use them, get a line. Maybe you talk about going for it here. Like I said, you've got them at your disposal. Use it because this is a big kick, right? Like you've taken momentum back over the game. You flipped the field position. Now you can go down here and take a lead. You don't want to rush it. And we've seen Connor Johnson all year, perform under pressure. I think we nicknamed him Sub-Zero. Obviously, very, very warm and welcoming to Sub-Zero there. But that kid's got a big, big leg. But I like the timeout.
So it's going to be ball at the 20-yard line. So Parker Bottoms will put the tee down at the 27. So officially a 37-yard field goal for Connor Johnson. Again, Kason Conlon, the snapper, snap back. Kick is up, kind of an end-over-end kick. And they're going to say it is no good. I think it must have missed a little bit to the left, Billy.
Yeah.
And so the Leopards are unable to convert.
Yeah, sorry, Jared. And looking at Connor Johnson, I think the ball, somebody got a hand on it. It looked like that ball was deflected because it came off a little wonky. It came good off his foot, but I think one of the cadet players got their hand there, and hats off to them. That's a big play for Connally. Now with 3:06 to go here in the first half, we'll see if they try to get the ball downfield now to their star receiver.
So 3:06 left to go in the first half. I want to remind everyone, stick around at halftime. We'll try to get a peek at the award-winning Lorena High School Marching Band. Also be joined in the booth by a special guest. But Kaufman takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Ford, running right. Gets a block, but he's slowed up by Trey Moore. Gets out of Moore's grasp. He'll cross the 30-yard line. He'll have a pickup of about 11 and a first down.
Yeah, and I look to see maybe Connally go tempo here. They got the big gain on first down, get a little rhythm going. But again, the Leopards are going to have to tackle. If they don't tackle, you could have a big long run.
So 1st and 10. Snap back. Kaufman out on the right side, gets the throw out to Vincent. He'll make the catch, step out of bounds at the 40. He'll be close to another first down, just shy is what they're going to say, 2nd and inches.
Yeah, and Leopards right now are playing off man coverage against them. That throw is going to be there, but as they move down the field, you're going to have to tighten that up a little bit because you can't give up 9 yards to throw.
2nd inches snap back. Kaufman looking to throw. Now chased out of the pocket. He'll take a couple of hard hits. Doesn't go down. Breaks some tackles. Finally tackled out of bounds. It'll be enough for a first down, but hats off to Caden Kaufman not going out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, you got to tackle in this game, right? It starts with blocking and it starts with tackling. And you saw there, coverage was great on Vincent downfield. The Leopards flowed to the football. They had 2 guys with shots on the quarterback, and he was able to evade both of them. So you don't have to do the big Sports Illustrated ESPN type hit. Just wrap up and take him to the ground, or just wrap up and hold on and wait for your teammates.
And now it looks like Lorena's going to have to take their 3rd and final timeout. Billy will keep it right here, all tied up at 7. When we look at the Connally side of the ball, Braden Ford, 10 carries, 57 yards, does have the touchdown. Raheem Fluker had the long carry for 25 yards. Caden Kaufman just picked up the big gain. He's got 4 carries for 20 yards. Kaufman 2 of 4 on the passing for 7 yards. And, of course, Jamarion Vincent, both of those catches for the 7 yards. So the Leopards doing a good job so far on defense, trying to keep Vincent kind of blanketed a little bit.
Yeah, and there's not much in the secondary for plays to be made. The Leopard secondary, like, I love Coach DeLeon's scheme, right? Like, there's not much downfield. And they're really tight windows if there is anything. But what you have to do, right, when the quarterback breaks down, you got to gain tackle, right? You got to stay in your rush lanes, and you need those guys at the second level to flow to the football and make the tackle.
So Leopards now out of timeouts here in the first half. Score tied at 7. An early start tonight, 6 p.m. kickoff due to the inclement weather making its way into Central Texas. Hope it stays off for a few more hours. Regular 1st and 10. Snap back. Braden Ford going to take the direct snap, going around the left side. He is going to have about 8 on first down, shoved out of bounds. And another Leopard helmet comes off. This time it's Kason Conlon. And, Billy, I can't think that the Leopard helmets are on too loose. It seems like Conley's got to be getting their hands up.
Yeah, I mean, Conley's definitely playing to the echo of the whistle. I think that they realize that the referee's going to let him play a little bit.
So Braden Ford now going to take the snaps directly at quarterback. He's going to run off to the right, chased by Trey Frosch. Frosch is able to bring him down. Great play, individual effort there by Trey Frosch. Ford will lose a yard on 2nd down.
Yeah, Trey Frosch, we've said it previously, he gives me Cooper Key vibes, right? He is absolutely a game wrecker at times. And when he gets going, like he kind of gets the rest of the defense going, that time he just blew that play up, right? But one thing to consider too, Jared, this being 3rd down, they're kind of in no man's land. And we've seen some issues with the operation of the Connally punt team with the snap. This is a huge play on 3rd and short. If you can get a stop or even a negative play, Connally has to go back to the punt team. We've already seen the Leopards get a hand on one, nearly missed the first one. So this is a big, big play here to set in the first half.
Definitely.
We have that vaunted 2-minute timeout here that we're still getting used to.
That's what I always forget about the 2-minute timeout. So 2-minute warning. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. I want to say extra special thanks to Syntex Pawn and BAM Builders. Of course, Cody Lewis, Jonathan Barrow, respectively, for their support of Lorena Leopard football. Also want to thank Yellow Rose Painting. All of the replay summaries Billy brings to you, brought to you by Yellow Rose Painting. All of your individual, both home and commercial painting needs, give Yellow Rose Painting a call. Also want to thank Epperson Tractor and also Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa. So 2 minutes left to go. 3rd down and 3. Kaufman back out. This time he's going to fake it out. He's going to flare it out to number 8. That's Chris Nobles. Nobles will have the first down, and he'll be across the 35, almost down to the 30-yard line. So a nice gain by Chris Nobles to pick up the first down and to get out of bounds.
Yeah, Jared, and we're seeing that tackling rear its ugly head again. Right? That should have been a 4-yard gain. He was able to squirt and get 3 or 4 more if the Leopards are just able to wrap him up. So you see a lot of arm tackles late in the first half, right? When you are kind of a little fatigued, but it is a cool night. But you got to rally the football and you got to wrap up.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 31. Leopards going to show blitz. Hudson Griffin up on the line. Snap back. Handoff to, I believe that is Fluker, number 10. He's in the grasp of Gage McCabe, and now they'll bring him back. Correction, that's Javion King. But he'll pick up about 5 on first down.
Yeah, and what the Connally offense has started doing is they're just cut blocking Frosh, right? They're trying to get a helmet on a knee to prevent him from getting any penetration. So you see already the respect that young man's gotten from the Connally offensive staff. 2nd and 4 here for the Connally Cadets.
We'll snap back to Kaufman. This time he'll hand it off to Ford, running out the right side. He's going to be drugged down. That is Gage McCabe just coming up, setting that edge, Billy, and dragging Braden Ford down.
Yeah, and we see it. Like, we see the structure of the Leopard defense. Like, they've got the pieces, right? They've got the athletes to execute this. You have, like you spoke to, Jared, you have to set the edge. But more importantly, you got to wrap up, and we saw that beautifully there. That's a run that could have went for 3 or 4 more yards and possible first down, but you take him down at the moment of the point of contact.
So Connally going to take a timeout here, 1:11 left to go as they try to punch it in right before halftime. And Billy, I think one of the things we're seeing tonight is these Leopard defenders getting off the blocks where in previous weeks they kind of were not able to shed those blocks and make the tackle. This time tonight, especially whether it's one arm getting free or both, they're able to shed those blockers and come up and playing with some physicality tonight.
100%. And I think what we've seen a lot is teams have really attacked Lorena inside the guards, right? They've really hit the A gaps or outside B gap runs every now and then, but they've really tried to like assert that running game in between those guards. And we've seen tonight the Leopard defensive line, aided by some guys that have come back from injury. Leopards finally getting relatively healthy. We've seen that middle hold up well. So you see Connally now having to attack the perimeter.
The 2 running backs in the backfield, Javion King and Braden Ford. It's going to be Ford with it. He's going to be slowed up. No gain on the play. Maybe a yard. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 5. Connally going to have to take another timeout.
Jared, you see there again, that's great team defense. You've got the outside edge player sets the edge, the force sets the edge, running back has to cut back up, and you've got a couple Leopards that have shed their blocks, ready to make the tackle. That's how every defense is designed to work, and we're seeing the Leopards execute well against the Connally running game here at the end of the first half.
58 seconds left to go. Connally takes their 2nd timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining. It'll be 4th down and about, I'm going to call it 6. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line.
You know, Jared, I'll say it's a gutsy performance so far for this Leopard defense in the first half. I mean, you've got Kit Seeley, you got Medina, you've got all these key contributors on the defense not being able to dress tonight. And you got guys playing both ways. You've got guys playing more football than they're used to. And they have been up to the task tonight, playing competitive, hard-nosed, physical football.
So 4th down, call it 6. Cowbells ringing here on the Leopard sideline. Now we see kind of a tackle over there for Connally. Snap back. Kaufman going to roll to his right. He's going to try to cut up. He'll dive forward. He'll be close to the first down. We'll have to see where they mark him. And they're going to say, yes, he does have enough for the first down. Looked like he got across the 20, Billy. Interesting play call there as they ran to the weak side of the field. And it was a quarterback sweep all the way.
Yeah, really nice job there by Hudson Griffin of setting the edge, but unfortunately the Leopards weren't able to shed the blocks and get to him.
So snap back, Kaufman looking. Now Griffin going to get by him. Now Kaufman going to dance around in the middle of the field. He'll get through the grasp of Trey Moore, but falls down. Again, 27 seconds on the clock. And with Kaufman going down in the middle of the field, Connally going to have to use their final timeout.
Yep, really nice job there by the Leopard defense. Again, tackle, tackle, tackle. Now you know Connally's out of timeouts. So, like, you know, there is 27 seconds, right? So, like, they can still run the football, but you have to expect they're going to probably attack you in the passing game. But what a big stop this will be for the Leopards, even holding to a field goal attempt after, because it's a game in the first half that the Lorena offense has kind of had their way, just weren't able to convert down here. You had the roughing the punter penalty that gave Connally an extra possession. So the Leopards have really been the more dominant team, if you're going to use the dominant word. But as we've seen it, right, we've seen the Leopards do that in stages of games and give up 1 or 2 big plays, and it kind of gets away from them. This is a big drive for the Leopard defense. We've seen them this year dig their heels in and get stops at the end of the first half, and I'm really interested to see if we're going to see that again tonight.
Awfully long timeout. I guess it's the 60-second timeout for Connally, but it is their final one.
You know, we saw that end-around play earlier. That's something that I think you're going to see Conley's going to have to test the perimeter of the Leopard defense, right? They're going to have to get something out to the side so you can run out of bounds if you need to. Because if you get a tackle inbounds at all, it may be tough for Connally to get set up to spike the ball or even set up for another play.
So second down, about 4. Snap back to Kaufman. He'll hand it off to King, running right. King breaks a tackle. He'll have the first down and more. He's going to be inside the 5-yard line.
And more importantly, Jared, he got out of bounds. So, like, that's going to be the clock stops and a big time pickup there for Connally, setting them up with plenty of time now inside the Leopard 5-yard line.
So it'll be first and goal for Connally. Ford and King in the backfield. It's Ford that gets the carry. He'll find a lane and dive into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, power run there just right off tackle. Leopards were out-leveraged there formationally. And a good play call there by Connally. And sometimes you got to tip your cap to your opponent. That was a really well organized and managed drive for the Cadets there, not leaving the Leopard offense any time to go down and get points right before halftime.
Ford now 72 yards on 16 carries, does have both Connally touchdowns. It is Alan Martinez-Tellez on to attempt the extra point. Snap back, kick is up and good with 16 seconds left to go. Your new score is Connally 14, Lorena 7. We'll take a break and come right back. It's the BAM Builders broadcast of Lorena Leopard football. Welcome back in. Jared Brown, Billy Rutherford on the call tonight. Connally takes the lead just before halftime, 14-7 on a 2-yard touchdown run from Braden Ford. But Billy, as we were talking about in the break, if you're Lorena, you got to feel pretty good about where you stand right now.
Yeah, I mean the defense is obviously they've given up 2 scores, 2 touchdown drives, but one was aided by a penalty on a short field. And that drive that Connally just executed him there. But, yeah, if you're coming into the game and you're like, hey, we've only given up 14 points with a receiver as talented as Vincent for Connally, you're feeling pretty good. Now, here's the question. You're kicking into the win if you're Connally, and we've seen the Leopard return team have a lot of success. Do you squib it here or do you risk anything? Because 16 seconds.
I think you got to squib it and hope that Leopards can't have a return.
And we've seen Connor Johnson with a big leg today, so.
Yeah, going to be a squib kick down, and it's going to hit a Lorena defender. Quickly fallen on by, that's Marley Hamilton. And so no time goes off the clock. Still 16 seconds on the clock. Leopards will have it in good field position about their own 40-yard line. We know the clock stops after a first down or goes out of bounds, so maybe the Leopards can dial something up here.
Yeah, 100%. What you want is your field goal team ready. Because if you do bust a play down anywhere on the field, if you can't get out of bounds, you want that unit to go out, or you spike it and have them go out. But the clock operator doing a Lorena solid there because, it did not start at all. It's supposed to start the moment it's touched, so it should be at least 15 or 14 seconds. But nevertheless, the Leopards pick up two extra seconds that may pay a dividend.
So 1st and 10, snap back to Blancett, looking to throw. Now nowhere to go with it, and he's going to be sacked down behind the line of scrimmage, and that will probably do it for the first half. I just don't think his tackle saw him, was trying to make the block, and Blancett kind of stepped up right into the sack.
Yeah, and again, Conley's doing a really good job against these Leopard receivers. Like, there wasn't anyone open. That was about a 4 seconds there, so the protection actually was good, but Jackson just didn't have anywhere to go with the football.
Well, that's going to bring us to halftime. Your score, Connally 14, Lorena 7. When we come back, we'll try to get a look at the award-winning Lorena High School Marching Band and Legacy Dance Team and also meet with a special guest. You're watching Lorena Leopard Football, powered by Rogue Media.
Team of tractor pros who can help you find the horsepower you need with a deal you'll love. Epperson Tractor Sales and Service, where service is in our name. Epperson Tractors invites you to save big on their full lineup of new TYM tractors. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a full-time rancher, we offer tractors ranging from 25 to 75 horsepower. Why choose Epperson? They're proud to be the 2024 TYM Dealership of the Year. Come meet their expert team of tractor pros who can help you find the horsepower you need with a deal you'll love. Epperson Tractor Sales and Service.
Football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Back in, we are going to step aside and let you guys take a look at the award-winning Legacy Dance Team, followed by the Lorena High School Marching Band. Okay, that is your award-winning Lorena High School marching band. We are going to step aside for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be joined in our outside booth by a very special guest. It is the halftime show. You're watching Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
Syntex Pond, Waco, Hewitt, Temple, and Killeen, here to help you with all your cash flow needs. Bring in all items of value for quick, hassle-free loans or sell them at a fair value and receive the best customer service in Central Texas. From Rolexes to firearms, our experienced staff is here to help when you need cash with compassion and understanding. Check out our Google reviews and come see for yourself. We are proud supporters of Lorena Leopard football. Syntex Pond. We are not in the loan or merchandise business. We are in the people business. Come check us out.
Tough Shed is #1 for a reason. We started building sheds in 1981. Most of them are still standing. That's because our sheds are made to last right here in the USA. Customize yours to get exactly what you want. Then we deliver and install for you. With finance and payment options, you might be surprised at how affordable a Tough Shed is. Design your dream shed or garage at toughshed.com and visit our Waco showroom located at 7705 Woodway Drive near Santa Fe Drive. Dream, design, deliver, install. Tough Shed.
Come see us at the Sonic in Lorena, 302 North Frontage Road. Rewards and half-price drinks on the app. Sign up today.
Welcome back into Mac Peoples Stadium. It's halftime. Connally leads Lorena 14-7. We're joined in the booth now by one of the longest tenured friends of the Lorena Leopard football broadcast, of course, the leader of Syntex Pond, Cody Lewis. Cody, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Hey, thanks for having me up.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to go very far. Just turn around.
Just turn around.
And really, we've kind of seen the Leopards struggle this year when we look at the defense. And really tonight, they've kind of stepped up and played much better.
They have. They containing, protecting the edge, but tackling. Tackling creeps his ugly head, and we're just not stepping up and wrapping up, hanging on, and that's a big added advantage to the offense and extra yardage.
Definitely, and really when we talk about when we flip it over to the offensive side of the ball, we've seen them run the ball effectively tonight, and then use that to set up the pass. Of course, the touchdown pass to Carson Miller.
Yeah, and procedural penalties and things like that will put you behind the chains, and that causes you problems. But I had Jackson over at the house on Sunday, and we were talking about it, and I said, man, you can be the best friend of our defense. Long sustained drives, and so instead of holding the ball back in the pocket and taking a sack, go get 3 yards, because that puts us ahead of the chains and moves the chains, and hopefully I'm in his head he's hearing that, or somebody is.
But we've seen that tonight.
Yeah,
we've actually seen that tonight from the Leopard offense, and you and I talk a lot about X's and O's, and I really respect your knowledge, your football acumen. What are some adjustments that the Leopard offense can make at halftime to get it rolling?
I mean, really, they're running the ball really well. Last week probably 12 times ran the football.
Yeah.
There was 5 carries on the first drive. So, they figured out it helps having Daly on back for sure. But figure out just keep running the football. Utilize the play action and set up those passes, those short, quick passes, get the ball out of your hand. And I think that's a recipe for success, in the second half.
Definitely, I think with the wind kind of continuing to play havoc, and this bad weather may be coming in, so you may not be able to take the deep shots down the field, but if you can keep it underneath, which the Leopards seem to have a lot of success early tonight with kind of those crossing routes getting way out wide, almost to the numbers. Those guys are wide open. They're shallow routes, but they can turn upfield and gain 6, 7, 8 yards. I think if they can continue to do that, then it forces Connally to kind of step up, and then you kind of run past them.
Yeah, right now, Connally's kind of off the ball, and so they're giving you that little bit of that short action, and eventually they'll get tired of it.
Right.
And then you can take advantage of going deeper. And we got the one in the corner down there. But that's when you run the ball effectively, like that. It kind of lulls those corners to sleep, and then you go over the top on them and score.
Yeah, you're seeing Connally kind of commit a lot of numbers, and anytime it's an obvious running down,
yep.
I would like to see go back to the RPO game or a play action just behind it, because you have they're running a 3-man front too, so you got that second level where there's a 3-3-5 or the 3-4. They're committing numbers to stop the Leopard running game. I think on first down, right, that's probably first or second, second and short. Anytime you have a running set that kind of pop for a play action, I think we'll see that. But tackling, we've talked about tackling a lot this year. What are some things that like tackling is one of those things that I feel like probably the hay's in the barn. But Cody, you spoke to a little bit about like form tackling. Can you just share a little bit about just like how important tackling is and how you can improve week to week?
I don't know what the practice habits are of high school teams anymore, because it's changed so much over the years in terms of what they can do and what they can't do. But it's head across the bow, wrap up, and just hang on. Because you have 10 other people out there. It's not, you don't have to. You don't have to eliminate a guy. You don't have to run through him. You just have to get a hold of him and hang on, and then wait for the cavalry to come and help. And I think that's a lesson that they all need to learn.
Well, I think kind of to the point we've seen kind of, and Billy's talked about this, the defense sort of being a mash unit, but that can also be the offense as well. And so I think that's one of the things that Coach Johnson has talked about is it's really altered what they've been able to do practice-wise. When you have guys that are missing time, you want to keep people on their feet as much as possible to keep their legs underneath them just so that they're fresh by the time they get back to Friday night. And with all the different changes that we've seen over the years with two-a-days and just the limits on what you can do in practice, the coaches are kind of having to change what they've done in the past, and as such, you see some of the fundamentals kind of slipping a little bit.
And that's where you see a lot of the hand grabbing.
Yeah.
Up high on the shoulder pads when that's just the worst place in the world to try to tackle someone.
Well, and I think you said something extremely poignant there with, you talked about, like, don't try to, we call it the kill shot, but, like, don't try to make the highlight reel tackle every time, right?
Yeah.
And I think you get that, right? Because you have a defense that's, faced a lot of adversity this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's talking about how great the offense is, and man, if we only had a better defense, right?
Sure.
So those guys are coming out, they're probably pressing a little bit. I think sometimes you just bear down, like you spoke to, wrap up and let the cavalry come and help you. And I think we see that. We see Leopards unblocked in places or shed a block, and they try to lower like a big hit. We saw that with the quarterback scramble at the end of that drive, and he was able to get like 12 more yards. So that was a very good point there. But Jared, to your point as well, if you don't really get to hit in practice, when you come out here against these Friday Night Lights, you kind of got that, I want to hit somebody, right? So it's a tough thing, especially for a high school kid.
Yep. Yeah, I think that, years ago, you would line up and do Oklahoma drill, and you would do those things that you knew that collisions were going to happen. And so it really, I could see why they cut out doing all those things, but it also produced guys that wanted to, they weren't scared of the collision.
Right.
And you have to get beyond
just
that.
Kind of to this point, I know that some of the kids earlier came across like a highlight video from the 2000 team, which one of their teachers, Dr. Greg Borkart, was on that team, and they watched some of this video, and they were all almost kind of in awe, going, man, like these guys really used to hit hard and tackle. And it's like, now a lot of them weren't going as fast. We've seen so much more speed these days, so they may not have been going as fast, but there was still a lot of pad popping in that video.
It was more confined because you didn't run all the spread and everything else, so the tackling was closer knit. We were within 5 yards instead of 15 or 20 yards where you're coming running up trying to make a collision. And so that's why all the hard hitting had to change. You had such devastating shots from a distance, and but that's the evolution of the game. But you still have to figure out how that you're going to properly tackle someone,
right?
And get it built into them, the bravery and the technique, of doing it.
Yeah, technique, and it's a 10-yard game, right? So if you got a ball carrier that picks up, say, 6 yards, and you're able to get him stopped, now you've got second or third and 4, right? But if he slips that tackle and picks up another 2 or 3 yards, now it's second or third and 1, and that completely changes the dynamic as far as the efficiencies and your play calling. Like, it's so important because it is a 10-yard game, and those slip tackles pay a dividend in the aggregate. They just really do.
That's why that's exactly why I was telling Jackson, make it 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 6. That's a way more advantage to the offense than 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 12.
Right. Yep.
Well, and I think that message hit home because we've seen him do that tonight on multiple occasions, take the check down, setting up a 3rd and manageable. Jared and I have talked about it quite a bit.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Billy, we're going to kind of pivot here. I want to talk to Cody. So really when Lorena Leopard football first got started in the space that we're in now, obviously this can't be done. We needed a lot of equipment to get it off the ground. Cody, you were one of the first ones to step up when David Gibson was doing this, to say, hey, I want to be part of this.
Sure.
And now we've seen like the streaming and the broadcasting really kind of take a huge leap forward in high school football. First of all, thank you for your support all these years of Lorena Leopard football. I know all of our fans are appreciative. Certainly Billy and I are thankful as well. But kind of talk about, did you ever really think we would see this kind of broadcasting and streaming come to high school football?
Yeah, because you start watching the state championship games on TV at Texas Stadium, and you start seeing how they broadcast, and they start broadcasting through the playoffs, and you go, this is eventually going to work its way down. It just hit quicker, I think, than everyone expected.
Well, certainly, I guess if I were to say that one of the positive things that came out of 2020 and 2021 was with the reduced seating and whatnot, was the ability, the UIL doing a great job to work with the schools and say, hey, we're going to let you start streaming these games without charging a lot of money for the rights, and it's really opened the doors for a lot of schools, Lorena being one of them. It's a lot of the smaller classifications to stream those games, and I think we had no idea it was going to reach the audience that it's reached, both in the community of Lorena, but also statewide and nationwide.
Yeah, because people can just click on the link and pick up a game, and they're out of state. I was in Maine 3 weeks ago, two or 3 weeks ago, sitting up in a hotel room watching the game.
How many lobsters did you take down while you were up there?
Man, you won't believe how many lobsters I ate.
You have to tell me after the interview.
Yeah.
But it is a phenomenon, like just specifically Texas high school football. Like after the broadcast, Jared, to your point, and Cody, thank you so much for supporting us as much as you have and really getting this launched, right, and help it turn into what it's becoming. Because it helps us serve the community more importantly, right?
Sure.
And I get text messages and messages from people in Wyoming and Iowa and all over the country that are watching Lorena football, alumni or somebody that's related to the kids. So it has such a big shadow and such a big footprint. It means so much to so many people. So thank you, sir.
No, absolutely. A pleasure to do it.
Good. So now, Billy, we're going to pivot one more time because this is something we typically do in November, but obviously still late in October, but we do have the holidays coming up.
Sure.
Of course, Cody, huge part of Syntex Pawn, and I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand that a place like Syntex Pawn can be a great place to holiday shop. Never too early to start thinking about it. Kind of talk about some of the things that Syntex Pawn does that kind of differentiates itself from the rest of the group.
Well, we do a layaway plan for anything that we have in the store, and it's up from 3 to 9 months that you can extend that out and make payments on your item, and then come in and pick it up. So that's great for Christmas. It's great for tax season and different times of the year when people finally get some cash to pay down on some stuff. And so we take care of everything from firearms to jewelry to electronics, power tools, just anything of value. And we give everybody an opportunity. We even got into luxury bags.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing that somebody who wants to own a Louis Vuitton bag that costs $1,200. Well, they can put a little money down and pay a little bit every month and get that picked up, paid for when it's something they couldn't afford to just go out and buy.
Right.
And you guys have a program too where you verify, right? You verify that they're actual bag.
Yeah.
That is such a great service because there are so many knockoffs out there.
We use an authenticating process out of New York that has the technology to test the patterns, and they guarantee that everything is authentic. And then they give you a certificate with it and everything, so we can gladly and proudly sell these items and prove to the customer and the buyer that it's authentic.
And that is a huge service because the counterfeit market with luxury items, specifically handbags, is massive.
Oh, yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. I think that and shoes are kind of the where it's going. But, I mean, you guys have even sometimes even carry the high-end.
Well, we have the same company does the shoes as well for authentication.
Yeah, so you can get some of the older retro suit.
Jordans.
Billy was wearing pumps last week.
The 91 D Browns. Yeah, that's right.
But
so where are you located?
We are in Waco, off Waco Drive. We're in Hewitt, off of Hewitt Drive, and then we're in Temple on West Adams, and then our newest location is in Killeen, off of Rancier.
And you have a web presence too, right? Your website?
Yes. Yeah, we do. We're big on social media, and we have our Facebook pages, our Instagram. We have our website, and we're just now finished developing a phone app that you'll actually be able to make loans and layaway payments on it, and that's probably coming up in the next month. The app's already out, and in beta testing, but the payment processing part will be here pretty quick.
Right in time for the holidays.
Yeah, and so if you're into shopping local, which I know a lot of us are in Lorena community, we like to support local brands. He's local, right? There's no more local Lorena. This guy loves, bleeds red and white. So support, if you want to support a local business, this is the guy to come and talk to.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, yeah, Cody. So we talked about adjustments for the second half. You think Leopards just need to keep running the ball and just keep playing the tough defense?
Yeah. Control the football. Move the football 3 and 4 or 5 yards at a time. Long, sustained drives. Keep the defense, rested and off the field. It's best friend.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Cody Lewis, our friend in the football business and also in the pawn business, leader of Syntex Pawn. Thanks so much for joining us, Cody.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be ready for the second half. It's the Syntex Pawn broadcast of Lorena Leopard football.
I'm Rusty Robinson with Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa, where quality and design makes the difference. We specialize in gunite pools, remodels, fiberglass pools. We've got all the selections here in the office between your tile, your coping, your veneer, top of the line equipment, concrete finishes, and anything else that you need. We've got glass tiles, pebble plaster, top of the line travertine coping, and 3cm, 5cm bullnose, anything that you could want on the pool. We're gonna come out to the house, do a 3D design, get everything you need so that we can see your house, your pool, in your yard so that we can make any adjustments.
Come see us at the Sonic in Lorena, 302 North Frontage Road. Rewards and half-price drinks on the app. Sign up today.
Syntex Pawn, Waco, Hewitt, Temple, and Killeen. Here to help you with all your cash flow needs. Bring in all items of value for quick, hassle-free loans or sell them at a fair value and receive the best customer service in Central Texas. From Rolexes to firearms, our experienced staff is here to help when you need cash with compassion and understanding. Check out our Google reviews and come see for yourself. We are proud supporters of Lorena Leopard football. Syntex Pawn. We are not in the loan or merchandise business. We are in the people business. Come check us out.
What do I love about Yellow Rose? What I love about Yellow Rose is the connections, is getting to meet people and bring joy into their life, take their most important asset and make it more beautiful.
You'll find companies out there that are willing to sell you what you want to hear, but they won't stand behind what they sell you. And Yellow Rose Painting will stand behind that.
Service is in our name. Epperson Tractors invites you to save big on their full lineup of new TYM tractors. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a full-time rancher, we offer tractors ranging from 25 to 75 horsepower. Why choose Epperson? They're proud to be the 2024 TYM Dealership of the Year. Come meet their expert team of tractor pros who can help you find the horsepower you need with a deal you'll love. Epperson Tractor Sales and Service, where service is in our name.
Back in, a little over a minute and a half left to go at halftime. Billy, when we look at some of these stats, Brody Daly on 15 carries for 70 yards. Jackson Blanson 8 carries for 21 yards. Most of those either been like a scramble or a couple of sacks, but not a lot of plays. passing-wise, Blancett 8 of 10 through the air, 58 yards, does have the touchdown pass to Carson Miller. So doing an efficient job there through the offense. The Leopards have only had 3 possessions, so they've just got to do more with it.
Yeah, and really what Connally's wanting to do on defense in passing situations, they're dropping A. They're scared to blitz Blancett because he's so dangerous. So I look for Lorena to really work those underneath routes and work the middle of the field.
You know, on the other side of the ball, Connally over about 150 yards rushing. Braden Ford, 16 carries, 72 yards, and 2 scores. Caden Kaufman, 6 carries, 31 yards. Some tough running from the quarterback. And then we've seen Javion King, a few carries, 19 yards. And so both teams kind of balanced. Leopards doing a good job in the pass defense, only 21 yards through the air. Chris Nobles does have the 1 catch for 14 yards, that big third down play. And then Jamarion Vincent, 2 catches, but only 7 yards. So the Leopards really committed to stopping him.
100%. And we talked about it, too. I think if you're a Leopard fan and you know that Vincent has 2 catches for 7 yards, you've only given up 14 points, you feel really good about your first half performance. The defense has showed up tonight very, very well. We look for them to make some adjustments and, obviously continue that momentum they have moving forward. But, Jared, we got some really good news after our interview with Cody, right?
Billy, I'm gonna hand it off to you and just tell us now. I'll tease it. So a lot of people know we talked about this a lot last year and the year before with Cody Lewis, our big time sponsor, Syntex Pawn, dealing with kidney failure for a long time, went into dialysis and got on the list. And he gave us some good news during the break.
Yeah, I mean, he said he didn't want to do it on air because, that's the kind of human being he is. But he has a donor. He's been approved, and he's on the books to get a new kidney. So I don't mean to overstate this as much as possible. That's the best possible news I could have heard today.
Yep, absolutely. Football is important as we get the second half underway. A pooch kick from Connor Johnson. It is caught by Jalen Davis. Fair catch. Connally will have good field position. But even better field position is Cody Lewis receiving the news that he is going to get possibly before the end of the year. And if that can happen, certainly once that does, we will pass that along to everyone. But just great news. So thank you to everyone who who shared the website about the donor program, all the thoughts and prayers for Cody, and we're just ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this. I like when good things happen to anybody, but when great things happen to even greater people, I think that's like just the universe being all right? And you can't get a better guy than Cody Lewis. He supports the broadcast. He also supports the community. He's highly involved. I mean, even talking about spending some time with Jackson Blancett and kind of working through some X's and O's and some film and, helping mentor. I mean, it could not be better news for anyone. Again, I don't mean to overstate it, but you and I, Jared, are kind of still reacting to that news, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We're so happy. But nevertheless, Leopard defense here takes the field to start the second half.
So Kaufman under center, a couple of running backs to his left. He's going to roll that way, keep it all the way across midfield, and he'll finally be pushed out of bounds at about the Lorena 45-yard line. Should have enough for a first down.
Yeah, and you see Connally coming right out, attacking the perimeter of that Leopard defense. And what that tells me is that front seven, or the front of the Leopard defensive line, is really controlling that Connally front. So they're going to try to attack the perimeter. What the Leopards can't do is they can't get their eyes outside and get beat inside. But it's a great sign to start the second half that Connally thinks they're going to have to run outside.
So 1st and 10 for the Cadets. Ball at the Lorena 45-yard line. We'll see. I believe that's Fluker in motion. It was. And whistles blow. I didn't see a flag come down. Not sure what happened there, Billy.
Yeah, I think we're just going to do the old-fashioned do-over.
Okay. So Leopards get a substitution in, and Connally will do the same. We'll see Jamarion Vincent go to the far side. Chase Horn will line up opposite of him. Again, 2 running backs in the backfield with Caden Kaufman. Snap back, handoff. Or no, he's going to fake it out. And it's going to go in and out of the hands of K.D. Linville. So a little play action there. Linville looked like he was open for a minute, but the ball just kind of slipped through his hands.
Yeah, and it kind of floated on the quarterback a little bit there. That's a dangerous throw if it's going to float. And I think we're sometimes spoiled with how well Jackson Blancett throws the football. I mean, that's a good throw from a high school quarterback, but we're used to that ball being right on the money in time. But Connally just missed there because that could have been intercepted there by Hill.
So 2nd down and 10, ball at the Lorena 45-yard line. Snap back to Kaufman. This time he'll hand it off to Braden Ford, running left. Good job by the Leopard defense. Preston Powell comes up, makes the tackle. Also Hudson Griffin getting in there as well. And Billy, this Leopard defense is doing something we haven't really seen them do all year, and that's really fight off those blocks.
100%. Again, like you've heard us say it a lot, but it's so important with a three-man front. You have to set the edge. That time Brody DeLeon comes up, sets the edge. Then you have Preston Powell clean it up, and you also had Trey Frost scraping from his nose guard position to clean it up just in case he needed it. So already seeing some better tackling in the second half from the Leopard front.
So 3rd down and 9 for Connally. Braden Ford, King in the backfield, snap back. Now Coffman going to look to throw, and it's going to be through the hands of Jamarion Vincent. He would have been short of the first down anyway, but that's going to bring up 4th and 9, ball at the 44-yard line, and it looks like the Connally punt team is going to come onto the field.
Absolutely. Great stand from the Leopard defense there. Now, we are at that place of the field that you have to kind of look for a little razzle-dazzle or a fake punt. But more importantly here for if you're the Leopards, punt safe, right, because Connally has the win at their back, and no penalties, right? You're getting the ball back, let your offense go out and cook.
Alan Martinez-Tellez takes the snap, puts his right foot into it. Big kick. And Leopards are going to let this go. It's going to bounce out of the back of the end zone. So the wind kind of taking care of that ball. But the Leopards hold, Billy, after Connally had great field position at their own 45 to start that drive. They do pick up 1 first down, and then the Leopard defense holds.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a script for Lorena to come back and win this football game, that's exactly how it starts. Leopard defense comes out. They give up the first down on the first play. They bear down, get the 3rd and long, convert on get the punt, get the ball back now for this Leopard offense, and now you can let these guys get back to work. This unit has had a ton of success. I know they only have 7 points because they had the field goal block, but like they've had a ton of success today, Jared. So I'd like to see them get back into a rhythm.
So 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Jackson Blanton takes a snap, hands off to Brody DeLeon. Not a lot of room, but DeLeon fighting forward behind that. A big push from the Leopard offensive line. Brandon Campbell kind of shoving him forward, and it'll be a pickup of almost 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, and that is so nice to have in your back pocket because Connally had that play defended well. Brody lowered his head, and his offensive line helped him there, pushing the pile. As you said, Campbell there leading the charge. But a big pickup there on first down, Jared.
Little tush push there. Call it 2nd and 2. Carson Miller in motion, snap back. Blanton looking, Brock DeLeon open wide over the middle, breaks a tackle. Brock's across the 45, won't go down. Billy, he's all the way out to midfield. Tough running after the catch for Brock DeLeon and a big Epperson Tractor first down.
Yeah, and that play is almost indefensible if you're not going to cover Brock because that is a quick throw. Jackson gets it out so quick on target, and you see what Brock DeLeon can do after the catch. You know, like pound for pound, one of the toughest players I've seen all season long, and he picks up a big first down here at midfield.
Suffered an elbow contusion last week on a catch where he went down to the ground and got hit by a couple of guys. Wasn't sure if he'd even be able to play this week, but he just comes in and does a phenomenal job here tonight. Got a little bit of a pause in play. Looks like the chains are a little tangled on the Lorena sideline.
Did you bring your WD-40?
No, but I was just kind of hoping they were only 9 yards long. It's 10. But it's an Epperson Tractor first down. Leopards moving the ball at midfield, 1st and 10. Blanton takes a snap, looking over the middle, and it's going to be in and out of the hands of Brock DeLeon. Kyle Coates also in the area, so not sure if maybe somebody was supposed to run a little bit of more a shallower route or whatnot, but Leopard's lucky there. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest challenge when you run crossing routes is the timing, right? Because you either got to throw that quick or you got to let him clear. But that time Jackson had to get the ball out of his hands. He did the right thing, put the ball right on the money, but there was a little bit of confusion there in the middle of the field. You want a different kind of spacing there. But the ball was on the money, and both receivers were open.
So 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers to either side. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon. And again, he kind of trips over some tangled feet. He'll fall forward for no gain, get back to the line of scrimmage. But, again, DeLeon struggling with his footing tonight.
Yeah, it's a little bit like right there. If he's able to get past that part, he has a wide open running lane, right? So, like, again, the Leopard front opening up holes. And, you know, like I said, I would speculate that we'll see one of these talented Leopard running backs break through one of those at some point.
So 3rd down and 10. And ball right at midfield. And we'll see Carson Miller go in motion to the right side. Snap back. Blanton going to roll that way. Nowhere to go with it. He's going to fire it upfield, and it's going to be intercepted That is number 4, Adrian Hernandez, with the interception. And an ill-advised throw there by Jackson Blanchett. The Leopards turned it over.
Yeah, he's extended the play. Obviously rolled out to the Connally sideline. Nice job by Connally there, covering that levels concept from the Leopards. 3rd and long, Jackson tried to make a play. Unfortunately, didn't see the Connally linebacker there to pick up the big turnover. And now here we go again, the Leopard defense, right? We've talked about it all game, how they've been gutsy. They've played well as a team, setting the edge. But Connally has the wind, and they've got an outstanding receiver here, so don't get caught peeking in the backfield.
So now we're going to have an official's timeout. Looks like the chains are still malfunctioning. So while they try to get that fixed, it'll be 1st and 10, ball spotted at the Lorena 41-yard line. 8:38 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Connally leading 14-7. First big break of this game goes to the Cadets.
Still working on the chains too, Jared.
We'll now see an official asking some of the Leopard athletic trainers for some tape.
Jared, while we wait, I was on a flight one time out of Waco Regional, and we were delayed about 45 minutes, and they said they had an engineer coming to fix an aviation issue. And I was able to see through my window that he used duct tape. Now, the pilot said that was aviation-grade duct tape, but nevertheless, when you need it, tape comes in handy.
It looks like, I think what's happening is maybe it's coming loose right at the stick and falling off. So, of course, you've seen some schools go to the Bluetooth technology, so they eliminate the need for a chain. Don't know if Central Texas is ready for that. We have the cell towers in the air for it. But maybe Elon with SpaceX and Starlink can get on that.
Absolutely. I'm not sure there's something that man can't do.
Now we're ready for play. 1st and 10. Spotted at actually the Lorena 42-yard line. Kaufman takes the snap. He'll fake it to forward. It's through the hands of number 2, and it's picked off by Brody Daly going the other way. 45-50, 55-40, 45-40. Cuts back into the middle of the field. Now he makes another cut. 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Leopards!
What a catch.
Brody DeLeon with a 70-yard interception return for a touchdown. The ball slipped through the hands of his number counterpart, C.J. Evans. DeLeon, Johnny on the spot. And the Leopards get the defensive touchdown and the momentum they need.
Absolutely, and if you're a Connally Cadet fan, the last person you want to catch that ball is Brody DeLeon, the most talented open field runner the Leopards have. And what a run after the catch, Jared. I mean, the cutback, the vision, and what a big play to get his team back to try to tie it here with the extra point.
Connor Johnson on to attempt the extra point, and it is good. And with 8:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter, the Leopards get the huge break. They tie it up at 14. We'll take a break and come right back. It's Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Welcome back in Mac Peoples Stadium, where Brody DeLeon, the fortunate recipient of a ball that slips through the Connally receiver's hands, he takes it all the way. And Bill, we talk about DeLeon being an open field runner, but also credit the Leopard defense for getting out and blocking for him downfield, not committing the penalty, which allows him to score.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a punt return once he got into the open field. To your point, Jared, those Leopard defenders, more importantly, not drawing a penalty, got it, basically paved the way for Brody with an incredible run for a touchdown. What a momentum swinging play, and put the Leopards tying this game.
Connor Johnson with the ball on the tee. He's going to try to kick it down the middle of the field. Fair catch called for by number 5, Jalen Davis. He'll make it at the Connally 30. And so, Billy, I will say normally I'm all for kicking it deep. In this case, he puts it deep enough and high enough where they fair catch it. The Leopards really only giving up 5 yards of field position. I think they're okay with that.
Yeah, and the wind from that end zone into the face of Connor Johnson has picked up substantially as the storm front continues to kind of near us as we progress in this game. So I like that call completely. Into the wind, that's a tough catch too. You may get another turnover. So setting up Connally at their own 35, 36-yard lines, not poor field position for the Leopard defense.
Caden Kaufman back out for the Cadets. Braden Ford, and that is Javion King in the backfield. Now lineman's going to kind of go in motion. Snap back, handoff to King. He'll cut it back in the middle. A lot of room to run. Breaks a couple of tackles, drags a couple of guys with him. Ty Hatton finally is able to bring him down. Hudson Griffin in there as well, but it'll be a big gain of 11 on first down.
Yeah, and we see Zachary Espinosa playing free safety for the Leopards. Also stuck a shoulder in there, help wrap it up to make the play.
Cadets wanting to run with a little bit of tempo. Snap back. This time they'll hand it to Ford. Same play. Now cut back to the right. Gets through the teeth of the Leopard defense. 25-20, 15-10-5. He's going to take it all the way.
Yeah, big-time run there for the Connally Cadet offense. Cut back there. It was a play side, like a zone, outside zone looked like. He cut it back right up to the middle, which is exactly what that plays to do. If your design lane isn't there, it's the zone blocking allows for a cutback lane. Leopards over-pursued, wide open, Red Sea type gap there in the middle for a big-time touchdown, and Connally seizes the momentum back.
58-yard touchdown run for Ford. Alan Martinez-Tellez on to attempt the extra point. And just like that, Connally retakes the lead, 21-14. We'll take a break, come right back. It's Lorena Leopard football powered by Rogue Media.
Built with heart, built for you. Hey, Leopard fans, looking to build the home of your dreams? Look no further than BAM Builders, your trusted local custom home builder. From foundation to finish, BAM brings your vision to life with quality, craftsmanship, and a team that truly cares. It's time to build something amazing right here in Leopard Country. Call 254-716-9987 or visit builtbybam.com to get started. That's builtbybam.com. BAM Builders, built with heart, built for you.
Welcome back in. Connally retakes the lead, 21-14 on the 58-yard touchdown run from Braden Ford. And Billy, we kind of talked about it during the break. Looked like a couple of Leopards kind of ran into each other, but kind of that's what left the hole open in the defensive secondary.
Yeah, and we've seen this Leopard defense be so good against the inside run. To allow that big of a play after the interception obviously is deflating momentum-wise. But the good news is, you got your offense back in the game. They're going to come back on the field and get you a drive and tie the game back up.
Couple of raindrops now tickling us here in the bleachers of Mac Peoples Stadium. See how long it'll hold off. Kickoff to the Leopards. It's going to be slips through the hands of Brock DeLeon. It'll go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So Leopards will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25.
Yeah, and we spoke pregame. If you're tuning in a little bit late and missed the announcement we made, there is some inclement weather moving in. Some of it does contain lightning and severe thunderstorms. So there may be a scenario where we do have to go off air suddenly if for safety reasons. So just giving you a heads up if that occurs.
Definitely. 7:50 left to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Leopards. We're getting our resident weather expert, Justin Peoples, telling us it's about to get bad. We'll play here. Snap back. Blancett pass out to the right side is caught. Can't quite see who that was. I believe Espinosa is on the catch.
And what you're seeing tonight defensively wise from Connally, they're taking a lot of what Gatesville did last week against Lorena from a coverage scheme. They're running kind of a levels concept on their end too, where they're trying to really structure it to force Jackson to throw into tight windows. Good run there by Jackson Blancett to the right side, but it looks like there's a flag on the field. Normally where there's a hold, we'll see what the referees call.
It is holding against the Leopards. That'll back them up 10 yards, but more importantly, the clock's not running.
Yeah.
Our engineer, Justin Peoples, informs us that the bad stuff is about 15 minutes away. So, Billy, we may be calling this one early, and we'll have to remind everyone to look at the Lorena socials and Facebook, Instagram, for all that, for all of our stuff post-game. And, of course, we will award somebody the Joe Pack Player of the Game award, but it may just have to be a little bit later. Snap back to Blancett, looking for the screen. He's got Daly on. Makes one man miss, but can't make the second guy miss. He's taken down. That is number 55 for Connally, Bryson Sparkman.
And that time you had, it was actually set up extremely well. You had Campbell and Niemeyer both out there ready to pave the way, but you had a Connally defender kind of in between them. And I think it was one of those situations where it was like, I think both players thought, you got him, because he was able to slip right between those guys and make the tackle. But again, that play was wide open there, well executed. Screen game's tough to execute at any level. The Leopards do it really, really well usually.
So third down at about 12. Snap back to Blancett. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man. It's Carson Miller. Leaps up but can't make the catch. It is intercepted. That is number 3 for Connally, K.D. Linville. So Linville makes the interception. Leopards are going to turn it over. But honestly, Billy, it's kind of just like a punt at this point. Blancett threw it about 40 yards down the field. So,
yeah, 100%. And like it was a good throw into that kind of a wind. Obviously, Connally was sitting back playing coverage, and the Connally cadet was able to just out-jump Carson Miller for the football. But what you want to see here from Lorena, right? You're down by just one possession, still early in the third quarter. Clean up that last drive. Go back to what you've been doing the whole game. Get a stop. Get your offensive ball back.
So 1st and 10, flag down, whistles blow, and it's going to be a false start against Connally. Umpire in the middle of the field threw that flag quick.
So now you got Connally behind the chains, 1st and 15. So yeah, a nice scenario for the Leopard defense.
See the kind of that tackle over for Connally. Snap back, handoff to, I believe that is Javion King into the Leopard defense, and a touchdown saving tackle by Hudson Hill. But King with the big run around the right side, and Connally starting to have success with the running game.
Yeah, 100%. Conley's found a wrinkle there by moving that tackle over, as you spoke to. Lorena showing them something pre-snap that they think they can take advantage of.
Connally working quickly. Snap back to Kaufman. Now hand it off to Ford through the teeth of the Leopard defense. This time, not a lot doing. Chase Rohde, Trey Frosch, and Ty Hatton all in on the tackle after a gain of about 2.
Yeah, really nice job by that Leopard front there, rallying to the ball carrier and getting a tough runner down.
2nd down, call it 7, just inside the 30. Again, King and Ford in the backfield with Kaufman. He looks to pass, going deep down the right side. A lot of hand fighting. It is K.D. Linville. In coverage was Hudson Hill. Hill right with him step for step. And officials kind of let him play there, Billy.
Yeah, I think the officials may know there's a storm front coming too. Lots of contact, letting him play. Hill did get his head around late. And normally if you can get your head around and look like you're playing the ball as well, they'll let you get away with a little hand fighting.
So that'll bring up 3rd down, call it 7. Ball at the 29-yard line.
And damn, don't look now. Like it seems like Conley's got all the momentum, but like 3rd and 7, if the Leopards can get a stop here, you're only down 7 points.
Kaufman and Ford in the backfield. Leopards coming on a blitz. This time Kaufman going to take off and run with it. Parker Bottoms giving chase. They're going to have him down at about the 26-yard line. He'll pick up a couple of yards, but that's going to bring up an interesting 4th down now, Billy. 4th down and about 5.
Yeah, it looks like the Connally offense is staying on the field, Jared. So big 4th down here for the Leopard defense. Again, only down 7 points. So this is potentially a game-changing down here for both teams.
4th down, they're going to call it 4. It looks like a long 4. Snap back, hand off to King, and the Leopard defense is going to hold, Billy. Brody DeLeon and also Kason Conlon coming in, makes the big hit. They stop Javion King, and the Leopards hold.
Absolutely. Kason Conlon sniffed it out from the beginning, went right downhill. The blocker wasn't able to reach him, and he was able to get there initially with Brody DeLeon helping. And don't look now, Leopards with the football back, and it looked pretty dire there for a second. Now you get plenty of time here in the 3rd quarter. Offense back on the field, lots of life for the Leopards.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball at their own 25-yard line. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon, running right. Runs into his own guy. He'll pick up about 3 on first down. It looked like he hit the hole so fast, Billy, he crashed right into Brandon Campbell.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Cody, we talked about at halftime with the running game, and Connally is really selling out to stop this Leopard run. We've said it ad nauseum at this point, but a run that looked like he didn't get much. He still picked up almost 4. We'll call it 3.5. But a nice job there by Brody DeLeon sticking his nose in there.
Second down, call it 7. DeLeon going to motion out, snap back, Blancett looking to throw. Nowhere to go with it. Now he's chased out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked. A big loss all the way back to the 17-yard line. Again, I think he thought he could kind of step through those Connally defenders. He couldn't. So that's going to move it all the way back to the 16-yard line. They need the 30, or correction, the 35 for a first down. That'll bring up 3rd and 19.
Yeah, that concept, everyone kind of went spread. Everyone kind of stretched the field on those routes. The issue with that, or the problematic part of that is you don't really have a check down. So as Jackson looked for a check down, there wasn't anybody available, and he took the sack.
So 3rd down and a lot for the Leopards. Connally showing blitz. Going to be a little screen pass to Trey Moore, a little tight end screen. Leopards out in front of it. Moore stays on his feet. He's going to fight across the 30-yard line. He'll still be about 4 yards short, but some tough running from Trey Moore on the tight end screen.
Yeah, and if you're throwing into a 15 or 20-mile-an-hour wind that can kind of gusting up, that's a really nice play call there. It's a short throw, and you pick up big yardage. Unfortunately short for the first down for the Leopards, but and also you have a very dangerous punt returner back now for Connally with Jackson Blancett punting into a pretty stiff wind.
4th down, they're going to call it 5. Leopards a little slow getting their last man on the field. Kind of a spread formation. Just get the snap off. Blancett's going to hold it as long as he can, gets his right foot into it. Wind is going to kind of knock it down and then take a Connally bounce. They're going to blow it dead.
I think it hit Cason Collins' foot when it came down.
Okay, so a break for the Leopards then, as it'll be Connally football at their own 44-yard line. 2:06 left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I think if you ask Cason Jarrett, he'd say just like I planned. But the story of this game so far, I think, for the Leopard side is how gutsy and how well this Leopard defense has played. Often in short chain situations, Leopard offense turned it over a couple times. So hats off to them. Having Griffin back and playing some guys both ways has actually paid a lot of dividends.
Snap back, handoff to Ford, running left. Kind of stopped at the line. He'll fall forward for a couple of yards. It'll be a gain of about 3 on first down, called 2nd and 7.
Yeah, and you see the Leopards here, they're substituting pretty liberally to try to keep this defense fresh, knowing that they've been on the field a ton here in the second half already with 1:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter, trying to keep those guys fresh. And right now that Leopard defense is keeping them in it.
Javion King, Braden Ford in the backfield with Kaufman. Snap back, Kaufman looks to throw. He's going to go downfield down the left side. He's got a man just out of the reach of Jamarion Vincent. Good coverage there by Chase Horn, kind of step for step with him, kind of annoying him just enough to not let Vincent have an easy catch.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. I think the wind obviously affected that throw, even though the wind's at his back, like that ball carried just a yard or two farther probably than he's used to, allowing the ball just to fall harmlessly. But to your point, that was really nice coverage. You had Connor Johnson out there as well, and the Leopards and Coach DeLeon are definitely saying that we're not going to let Vincent beat us over the top. Like we're gonna make sure that we're going to play the run with the 9 other guys, but we're going to put 2 guys on Vincent all night.
So 3rd down and 7. Snap back, hand off to Ford, tries to cut back up the middle. Breaking tackles, he'll have enough for the first down. He'll cross into Leopard territory, be tackled down at the 45-yard line where we'll have a first down.
Yeah, and that time you had the Leopards set the edge of the defense great. The Connally running back saw it, cut back inside. Unfortunately, Leopards were not able to get off blocks, and you see the big pickup there.
So 1st and 10 at the Lorena 45-yard line. Snap back to Kaufman. This time he'll hand it to Ford. This time he's wrapped up by Hudson Griffin. Flag comes in. It looks like it might be a face mask, Billy.
Yeah, it's definitely a face mask call. The head referee on the back there threw it. And that time Espinosa was late getting over an alignment. It looked like Vincent had one-on-one coverage on Horn, but he was able to get over there late.
Got a leopard down at his Hudson Griffin. And he's kind of holding his nether regions. So not sure if he kind of caught a stray there. Bottom of that pile, a lot of things can happen. And so now he's kind of a, double whammy, commits the penalty.
Yeah, that's those injuries to the midsection are always tough. We certainly hope that young man's okay.
First game back after missing about 6 weeks. So the penalty marked off. It'll be first down for Connally inside the Leopard 30. Ball spotted at the 29-yard line.
And we see it again, Jared. I mean, that is an aggressive penalty. And as a coach, you don't want it, but you're okay with it. But another penalty, another big one to help Connally sustain a drive.
So first and 10 for the Cadets. Snap back to Kaufman. Handoff to King. He's going to slice through the defense. He'll be across the 20 and down. Leopards tried to come on a blitz. Couldn't quite make the play, and it'll be a 10-yard gain, enough for a first down.
Yeah, and we spoke to it earlier in the first half about Connally having to gamble a little bit on defense to slow down the Leopard running game. You're starting to see the reciprocal of that now. The Leopards are having to kind of put numbers into these run fits as that defensive line, who's played extremely well tonight, is starting to kind of wear down a little bit, Jared.
Clock ticking down, under 20 seconds. Cadets will have to snap it one more time before the end of the quarter. Snap back to Kaufman, hands off to Ford. Cuts inside, flag down. And they'll stop the clock. It looks like it is going to be holding against Connally. Ty Hatton was absolutely mauled in the backfield and drugged down.
Well, and that's a good example there about how a defensive lineman can win his battle, and even though he doesn't show up on the stat sheet, affects the game. That's a 10-yard loss now for Connally because he just out-toughed the guy in front of him, and he had to hold him.
So they'll mark 10 yards off from the previous spot. It'll be first and 20. Ball back at the 29-yard line. I assume Connally won't snap it here. They will not. They'll let the clock run down. At the end of 3 quarters, your score is Connally 21, Lorena 14. We'll take a quick break and come right back. It's the Syntex Pawn broadcast of Lorena Leopard football.
Looking to build the home of your dreams? Look no further than BAM Builders, your trusted local custom home builder. From foundation to finish, BAM brings your vision to life with quality, craftsmanship, and a team that truly cares. It's time to build something amazing right here in Leopard Country. Call 254-716-9987 or visit builtbybam.com to get started. That's builtbybam.com. BAM Builders, built with.
Welcome back in. We go to the fourth quarter. Billy, Leopards are going to have to find an answer for Braden Ford. 23 carries, 149 yards. Javion King adding a nice kind of counterpunch, 6 carries for 69 yards. And then Caden Kaufman, not afraid to tuck it and run as quarterback. He's got 41 yards on 7 carries.
Yeah, and really the Leopards have done well against the downhill running game, but it's the delayed running game that's really hurt them. And we've really seen that all year. With an attacking defense, that delayed running game kind of lets you get out of position. And we've seen that tonight on some of the big Connally runs.
So first and 20, snap back, pass out to, that is number 2, C.J. Evans, breaks a tackle. Looks like he'll have most of the penalty yardage, if not a few more back, gain of 11 on first down. That'll make it 2nd and 9.
And worth noting now, the Leopards have the wind at their back. Connally now going into that wind, and you do have a Leopard down on the field. I think it's Chase Horn injured his wrist early in the year, and that time he had to make a tackle with that bad hand.
We see Lorena head athletic trainer Isaac Diaz going out to check on him. Looks like he's kind of holding his shoulder a little bit. we'll wait to see what happens with him.
And while we wait, our esteemed producer here, just amateur meteorologist here, telling us that we think that maybe the heart of the storm cell may miss us just to the north now. I think we're still going to get some rain and some nasty weather, but maybe most of the severe stuff will miss us. Hopefully we can continue and show you the result of this one, because we've got a good one tonight, Jared.
Definitely. Some scores from around the district. Gatesville leading China Spring 27-7, that game in the fourth quarter. You see a lot of games were played last night as well, one of those being La Vega and Robinson. The Pirates moved to 3-0 in the district. They defeat Robinson 31-27. Other scores around the area, Duncanville, and the Metroplex as well. Duncanville beats Mesquite Horn 40-13. Academy over Troy 49-7. Midway leading Killeen 49-26. West all over Groesbeck 42-0. Crawford defeated Moody last night 24-6. Franklin over McGregor 41-7. In the Battle of the Bell, Cameron leads Rockdale 31-21. So we are back. Well, I say ready for play. Horn still walking off. And we'll have to see if I look like he's holding his shoulder, Billy, but maybe he's got that cast on the right arm. So we'll have to see what happens. But they blow the whistle, ready for play. We are back, ready to go. Snap back to Coffin, hand off to Ford, cuts it back into the middle, and that time we see Chase Rohde coming in from that defensive end position, hits and wraps up on Braden Ford, and then we see a late flag come down. It looked like Hudson Hill involved in it, along with number 2, C.J. Evans and K.D. Linville.
Yeah, absolutely be interesting to see who gets the flag on this.
And I think, you know, this is after the play. First of all, good defensive job by Chase Rohde. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Connally. They don't signal it against Lorena, so not offsetting. So that's going to back them up 15 yards, and the down should count. So that's going to make it 3rd down and a lot. And with Connally having to go into the wind here, Billy, this could affect the field goal kicking of Alan Martinez-Tellez.
Yeah, that is a massive penalty on the Connally Cadets. And to your point, Chase Rohde, we've seen him come back from injury. He gets better every week. That was a big stop by him. But also the dead ball penalty now puts Connally in a bind. Now it's really important here for Lorena to tackle, right? Wrap up if the quarterback scrambles. Don't let anybody score it out, because now this is a difficult field goal position for them.
So 3rd down and a lot. Snap back to Kaufman, looking to pass. Now he's going to be kind of chased out of the pocket. He's going to throw it out to the right side. Woefully short, underthrown. Good job by Rohde again there. Also, Parker Bottoms getting pressure on Caden Kaufman. Ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, and you're seeing some life now out of this Leopard defense. They played well all game long, but you're starting to see there's belief, right? They know that they can go toe-to-toe with this Connally offense, and they've done a really good job tonight, for the exception of just a handful of plays.
So 4th down and 20. Connally going to go for it, kind of in no man's land. I think you just kind of throw it up and see if you get a penalty or something. And snap back to Kaufman, and he's just going to throw it up to Jamarion Vincent, and it's going to be caught. He'll have the 1st down. Leopards fighting for it. Jackson Blanchett had good coverage. We're going to see where they mark him out. It's right at the 10-yard line. Are they going to give him the 1st down?
Oh, no.
They are going to give him the 1st down. It's going to be 1st and goal inside the 10.
You know, we spoke about it pregame, Jared, with Vincent and how explosive player he is and how difficult he can be, and Coach Johnson's comments on him in your interview. You saw it there. Leopards have rendered him basically inert all night long, and he able to win a jump ball against Jackson Blanchett, one of the best athletes on the field.
Yeah, he just kind of shielded Blanchett and then just went up and made the catch. And now I think Kevin Johnson is going to come over, and he's going to want to know, like, why was there not even a measurement for that ball? Or why, you know, for that, it was really close to the 1st down. I thought they had to get inside the 10-yard line. And KJ is not happy. The ball spotted at the 9. It's hard to see from our vantage point, Billy, kind of where, when it gets down to the ends of the field, where they have to get.
Well, it was spotted short on the Leopard sideline. I think that's what KJ was talking about. But it is very difficult for us to see to the far sideline where the actual initial spot was.
So first and goal for Connally, the 9-yard line. Snap back, handoff to Ford, running right. Going to slip one tackle. But Braylon Ocasio gets out there from his defensive end position, is able to make the tackle, pickup of a couple, but a good job by the Leopards to stop him.
Yeah, Chase Rohde in there as well. Parker Bottoms forcing the bounce outside. So the Leopards here still staying stingy against the running game.
Second and goal from the 7. 2 running backs behind Kaufman. Ford and King, snap back. Hoffman looking to throw. Now he's going to be chased from the pocket, flagged down, and now we're going to have a pass that goes out of bounds. There's nobody in the area, so I think we may have another flag here, Billy. Oh, they're going to say that a receiver was in the area? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's obviously holding call.
I think the referee that threw the holding flag also threw the intentional grounding flag.
So it's holding, and then, yes, it is intentional grounding against Connally. So I believe that is a spot foul and loss of down. So they'll have to mark where he threw that pass from, and then it's going to go from second to third down. And so, again, this Leopard team.
Yeah, massive. I mean, that is a massive call there. It should be spotted where the
they're gonna back him up. Initially, he put that ball down like it wasn't gonna move.
Generally speaking, you'll see a referee throw the hat down if there's a secondary penalty. That time he threw his beanbag for fumbles.
Okay.
But yeah, again, Leopards with tons of life here because there is a big breeze coming from that end zone. Connally going into the wind, so a stop here puts Connally probably in fourth and go for it again. So the Leopards defense just holding strong, bending but not breaking.
Third and goal from the 23-yard line. Snap back to Kaufman. Leopards coming on a blitz. Chase Rohde's going to get there. He's going to sack Kaufman on third down. Chase Rohde knifing through, Billy, and making the play of his season so far, sacking Caden Kaufman on third down.
Yeah, he's been active this entire drive, Jared. He's been disruptive, and that time coming all the way from his backside in position to the blind side of the Connally quarterback. Well, the hustle on that play, not letting the quarterback try to make a play here. And here we go again, Jared. Fourth and long. Let's see if they try to do another jump ball or what the Leopard defense can throw a wrinkle at them.
Ball spotted just inside the 27-yard line. So it'll be fourth and goal. Leopard fans are going to make a lot of noise here. We'll do our best to kind of speak through it. And you got to wonder if it's going to be a delay of game against the Cadets, and we'll have to see. Yeah, they're going to back him up 5 more yards, so that'll back him up to the, well, that's not 5 yards, but.
And hats off to the loyal Leopard contingent that was able to make it out tonight, braving some potential inclement weather, making some noise, making it tough for Connally to get the snap off.
So fourth and ponder, snap back to Kaufman. Now he's going to step up. And he's going to be hit hard and sacked. And is it Chase Rohde again?
It is.
It is, Billy. Chase Rohde once again, the big hit on fourth down. And the thing there is he could have hit Kaufman and knocked him forward, but he wrapped up, he tackled him to the ground, and the Leopards get a huge stop on fourth down.
Yeah, when you need someone to step up for your defense that's played so gutsy all night long, you have Chase Rohde in there making a multitude of plays. From his backside in position, they're rolling away from him. They know he's disruptive. They know he's a problem. He's still able to pursue it and make a huge stop for the Leopard defense. And now the Leopard offense with the ball and the wind in 9 minutes.
So first and 10 for the Leopards. Ball at their own 27-yard line. Snap back, flag down. Quick pass out to Carson Miller. Too low for him, kind of at his shoes. But I'm not sure what the flag was for. It's offsides against the Cadets, so a free play for the Leopards. So no harm, no foul. Move it up 5 yards and do it again.
You know, we do have to comment, too, like Jackson Blanson's been one-on-one against Vincent, Connally's most explosive player all night long. You know, that does take a toll, right? It takes a toll on you a little bit, just physically making tackles, shedding blocks. So be interesting to see how much gas left in the tank.
So first and 5 for the Leopards. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon. Running right, big hole, crosses the 35-yard line. And he's going to be picked up and then just thrown. And then we see another flag come down at the end. And this is going to be real important to get him out of there. and back to the huddle. Look at his offensive line, Billy.
Yes.
All those guys surrounding him, kind of herding him back to the middle of the field before it can get any worse.
Yeah, and more importantly, yeah, absolutely, like keeping him away from a retaliation penalty. And, like, we're seeing Connally self-destruct here with the penalties. In the first half, it was Lorena with a lot of the penalties that really put him back. Now Connally with some really costly penalties here in the last couple minutes, giving the Leopards a ton of life.
So it's a 10-yard gain for Brody DeLeon, and then we're going to add on 15 yards. That's going to take it all the way into Connally territory. We'll see where they put the ball down. They're going to put it down at the 47-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10, a big Epperson tractor first down. And so now we're going to have a timeout. It looks like Connally's going to call a timeout here, Billy. We'll keep it here and kind of talk about that. To your point, we see really, interestingly enough, you got a stiff breeze blowing in your face if you're Connally, and you get it to 4th and 20. You've had success just kind of throwing the jump ball to arguably one of the best players on the field, if not in Central Texas, in Jamarion Vincent. So you think, okay, maybe you have a chance to do that again, but then the delay of game backs them up 5 more yards. And then we see Chase Rohde kind of really stepping up tonight. 2 sacks on that drive, both on 3rd and 4th down, giving the Leopards the ball back.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Leopard defense tonight, I can't say it enough. Like, they've given up some big plays here or there, but they've really just been kind of like pesky all night long to Connally's offense. And just when you think Connally's going to separate and maybe put this to bed, the Leopard defense has something to say about it. And I think that's part of the reason some of these penalties are happening. I think you have a frustrated Connally team because this Leopard defense won't go away. And now the offense is as well, right, is having that same effect on this Connally defense. So we talked about it, right? The team that can make the fewest mistakes, who wanted it more, and can play as clean. And right now the Leopards have the advantage there.
So Blanchett takes the snap, pass out to Brock DeLeon, makes the catch in traffic. He'll be across the 40-yard line. See where they mark him down. I think they're going to have him down about the 38-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and you see Jackson Blanchett is actually kind of favoring his throwing elbow a little bit. After that throw, you can see that he maybe took a lick on one of the defensive plays, but he's working through that. He's a competitor. He's tough. But you have to think that, if he's going to battle through that, but it may affect some of the accuracy on the deep ball. So just, keep that in mind. And I'm sure Coach Peavyhouse sees that as well, and probably will stick to the short to intermediate passing game.
2nd and 1. Blanchett looking for it. Big block from Brock Maggard. Blanchett going to take off. He'll kind of slide down just shy of the 30. He'll have the first down, but a smart play there by Jackson Blanchett. Tuck and run, take the yards, and pick up the Epperson tractor first down.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Blanchett puts his body on the line week after week after week, playing both ways tonight, having to go up against the most explosive player for Connally. A gutty run there, a little banged up, still moving the chains for the Leopards.
So 1st and 10 for the Leopards. 32-yard line, snap back. Blanchett going to fake it, pass out to Carson Miller. Makes a man miss. Correction, that is number 20, Raheem Fluker, has Miller by the ankles, but he dives forward, picks up about 7 on first down.
Yeah, it looks like there's a Connally cadet slow to get up, number 20. But I will say that time Blanchett stepped into that throw, tested the four-seam fastball, and he still has it, ladies and gentlemen. So good news for the Leopards. That arm's sore, but he still's got plenty of horsepower left.
So Fluker comes off. Leopards working quickly. Handoff DeLeon right up the middle. Huge hole behind Brandon Campbell, Landon Manus, and that's number 77, Noah Harden. Big run for DeLeon and an Epperson tractor first down.
And now you see hands on the hip from the Connally defense. You see that belief I talked about in the Leopard defense earlier. It's like Connally starting to doubt it a little bit. Leopards rolling with all the momentum.
1st and 10. Blanchett hands off to DeLeon, running right. Kind of crashes into his own guy. Falls forward. Taken down by number 55, Bryson Sparkman.
Yeah, really nice job there by Maggard there, 72 for Lorena. He cut down that backside end. I think when they watch film, I think Brody's going to see he had a huge cutback lane there. But Leopard offensive line executing in the most important part of the game.
2nd down and 7. Snap back, hand off direction. Blanchett going to keep it. Now spins out, and he's going to fire it way out of bounds. He threw it almost to Bell Mead. There is a flag down on the far side of the field. Looks like it could be defensive holding. because initially he wanted to go right. We'll have to wait for the call as the officials kind of talk about it. It is against Connally. So if that's defensive holding, Billy, should be 10-yard penalty or maybe half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, Jared, we just got a weather update. It looks like we got about 30 more minutes before the Lightning may be close enough for them to maybe pause that, so hopefully we can continue to get this one in.
So first down, DeLeon going to try to bounce it outside. Can't quite do it. Good open field tackle. That is number 5, Jalen Davis.
Yeah, and you're seeing Connally's defense structured very similar to Lorena's, and I think that there are some cutback lanes out, to say, up here from the top of the stands on the 50-yard line. But I think at some point if Brody can see that cutback lane, it's wide open, similar to some of the Connally long runs they had earlier, because both teams are having to really pursue the football because both of these offensive lines have really started working.
Clock continues to run, under 6 minutes now. 2nd and goal for the Leopards. Snap back to Blancett. And now they're going to blow the play dead. There's a pre-snap penalty. Not sure why they let it even snap, but it's going to be false start against the Leopards, and now they're going the wrong way.
Yeah, Jared, if you look at both of the last Connally possession and this Leopard possession thus far, they're kind of reflective of the seasons they've had, right? They've had tons of success. They get into a rhythm. They do all the right things, and they kind of get in their own way.
So 2nd and goal, ball back to the 15-yard line. Snap back, Blancett going to fake it. Throw it. He's got Brock DeLeon over the middle. You know what time it is, Billy. It's Brock o'clock. Leopards touchdown. The 15-yard pass from Jackson Blancett to Brock DeLeon. And the Leopards are an extra point away from tying this ball game.
Love it. The RPO we've seen all year long with the skinny post, hitting him right on the money. It was wide open. And more importantly, what a great job by the Leopard offensive line by not going downfield and getting an eligible lineman downfield penalty. Well executed. Great play call right just in time.
Connor Johnson on to attempt the extra point. Snap is high, and it's going to be blocked. And this is going to be interesting. The Leopards are going to tackle the Connally person in the end zone. And we're going to have to see what this call is, Billy. Could this be a safety?
Yeah,
because he caught the ball and went into the end zone.
They're discussing it.
And it is. It is going to be a safety. And it's a 2-point conversion for the Leopards. Good luck, Clark, on how you score that in the stat sheet. But nonetheless, it's 2 points for the Leopards. And that's one of those things where it's you get a little overzealous trying to return that blocked extra point. You carry it into the end zone, and the Leopards, credit them for their knowledge to not let him out of the end zone, tackle him, and that's a safety.
Yeah, that is a big mental mistake by that young man for Connally, because at that point you just let it sit, right? Just once it's blocked, you just, similar to like a punt where you yell, Peter, everyone scatters, because the ball is dead if you just let it sit. But the moment you pick it up, you're a ball carrier, and if you retreat into the end zone, great call, my friend, to pick that up, because there's not a bigger play that happened in this game. You have a blocked extra point. Connally looks like they've got all the momentum. They pick it up, run it into the end zone. The Leopards are Johnny on the spot, tackle him in the end zone for the inexplicable 2-point conversion off the field goal block.
Billy, I've been watching high school football in Central Texas for 25 years. I've never seen that happen.
I haven't either, but I can tell you this. We talked about it pregame, right? And we talked about the team that wanted it more, right? Who wanted it more, right? And there's a lot of football left, right? So we're not stamping this one as complete yet.
Oh, no.
But that Leopard, the last 5 minutes of this Leopards, to stand down here on defense and the gutsy drive to go down to get points, and even gutsier to overcome the adversity of the block extra point and still turn into 2 points. It doesn't get better than that. That Leopard team is fighting and scratching and clawing. Right now they're showing they want it more. But another challenge now for that Leopard defense. That Leopard defense has been on the ball all night long, have kept them in it. Now the offense gives them the lead. Let's see if the Leopard defense can close it out.
Connor Johnson with the ball on the tee.
And the Connally head coach still asking for clarification.
Well, now they're going to – now it's showing 21-21. And so maybe this is the 1-point safety that I've heard about in football. We're going to have to get clarification on this because I think it may be the 1-point safety. That's what it's going to be. It's a 1-point safety.
Either way.
It's tie ball game.
Yeah, either way, right?
Connor Johnson puts his left foot into it, and it is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. We'll keep it right here, Billy. 5:23 left to go in this ball game. We're all knotted up at 21. And just to kind of reset that play, the Leopards try to kick the extra point. It's blocked. Connally picks it up, runs it into their own end zone where they are tackled. That is a 1-point safety. You don't see it very often.
No. I mean, Jared, I've been watching this game feverishly since I can remember, and I've never seen anything like that. And, man, I am so happy it happened for the for the team that we obviously cover. But big drive here for the Leopard defense.
Snap back to Kaufman. He'll hand it off to Ford. And it's going to be Trey Frosch right in the middle of that Leopard defense, wrapping up Braden Ford and bringing him down for no gain.
Yeah, absolutely. Trey Frosch has played extremely well tonight at the point of attack, playing an extremely difficult position in that three-man front. He's going to get a lot of double teams. He's going to get a lot of helmets on his knees. Been fighting all night long. You've had Chase Brody make plays from the backside. The Leopard defensive line shows up big tonight.
Snap back to Kaufman. He's going to roll to his left. Preston Powell wrecking havoc. And then we're going to see Ty Hatton come through and drag down Caden Kaufman for a big loss on second down all the way back to the 20-yard line. And Billy, the Leopards have got the momentum.
Yeah, Nicasio there probably drew what I thought was a holding call, but it wasn't called. But nevertheless, the Leopard defense, tons of juice right now. Big-time 3rd and long setting up.
And we see Preston Powell kind of walking up as in a four-man front, Billy. 3rd and long, snap back. Kaufman going to have to throw. He's going to be chased out of the pocket. The pass is going to be caught by Vincent, but he's going to be slung down by Jackson Blansett. He'll pick up 5 yards, but not near enough needed for the first down.
That is great 3rd down and long defense. Right, their most explosive player runs a deep out. The pass rush flushes the quarterback out, throws the timing off. Receiver comes back to the ball like he's supposed to, but Jackson Blansett says, man, I'm going to let you have that because I'm going to come up and make the tackle. Great form tackle. The Leopard defense flows, and they're looking to get the ball back here with a tie game with about 4 minutes to go, Jared.
Alan Martinez-Tellez on in punt formation for Connally into a probably 20-mile-an-hour stiff wind. Leopards have 2 returners back. Good snap back. He'll put his right foot into it. It's a low kick. It's going to hit and roll out of bounds at the Lorena 49-yard line. So 3:31 to go, Billy. Leopards have great field position.
Yeah, right now the field is tilted to the Leopard side. All the momentum, the Leopard faithful here that traveled up 35, making a ton of noise. Now they'll quiet down when the Leopard offense gets out on the field, wisely so. But like right now, that Leopard defense has been giving the offense momentum all night long. They've bent, but they didn't break. And now they've got the offense with the ball, tie game with 3:31 to go with all 3 timeouts, sitting in great field position.
Jackson Blansett, Brody DeLeon in the backfield, hand off to DeLeon, slicing through the middle of the defense, breaks a tackle. He's across the 45-yard line of Connally. Pickup of about 7 on first down. Tough running from Brody DeLeon.
Absolutely, and if you're the Leopards right now on offense, you know, you're going to take 4, 5, 6 yards of carry. Just methodically go down the field, punch it in for the touchdown, and just close this one out.
2nd down and 3. Ball at the Connally 44-yard line. Snap back, Blansett, quick throw out to Carson Miller. Makes a man miss. He'll step out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Will have enough for an Epperson Tractor first down. He'll stop the clock with 2:57 left to go.
Yeah, Carson Miller, I talk about it every week. He's got great feet, right? He's a big, tall kid. We've seen what he can do after the catch, but he's got really great feet to tippy-toe down the sideline, know where the 6 are, pick up the first down, and also get out of bounds.
2:57 left to go. Leopards moving 1st and 10 at the Connally 40-yard line. Leopards will catch their collective breaths. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Snap back. Blansett looks to throw. It's caught by Espinosa on the run. He'll pick up about 5 yards on first down. Easy pitch and catch.
Absolutely, that's all day long. We just said it. 4 or 5 yards a down, stay in front of the chains. And right now, if you're the Leopards, ball security is so important, right? Ball security. When in doubt, 2 hands on the ball, right? You're in position. The only thing that can really go bad right now is a turnover. Take care of the football.
2nd down and 5. Snap back. Blanton going to keep it himself this time. And now he'll slip and fall down. So he'll lose about 4 yards on 2nd down.
Yeah, and you can see Connally was very concerned with Blanton on the zone read QB pull. All right, all night long they've kind of had someone dedicated to him on that backside, which is one of the reasons the Leopards have been so dominant on the zone run. But the weather's starting to come in, Jared. We're kind of having a sprinkling of some rain. Drama unfolding at the 2-minute warning here.
So 2 minutes left to go. Tell you what, we'll take a quick 30-second timeout so our sponsors can get on here. It's Lorena Leopard Football, powered by Rogue Media.
Tough Shed is #1 for a reason. We started building sheds in 1981. Most of them are still standing. That's because our sheds are made to last right here in the USA. Customize yours to get exactly what you want. Then we deliver and install for you. With finance and payment options, you might be surprised at how affordable a Tough Shed is. Design your dream shed or garage at toughshed.com and visit our Waco showroom located at 7705 Woodway Drive near Santa Fe Drive. Dream, design, deliver, install. Tough Shed.
Takes it back in it. We're live? Okay, sorry about that. Still getting explanations on the 1-point safety. Billy Jackson Blanton at 17 of 23, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brody DeLeon over the century mark, 23 carries, 101 yards. None more important than this last 2 minutes. Again, 3rd down and 8, big 3rd down. With the wind at the back, you got to think they're in Connor Johnson's field goal range, but struggling with the kicking game tonight, so not sure what the Leopards want to do.
Yeah,
I think you give the ball to Brody DeLeon.
I think you do. I think you just stick dance with the girl you brought you.
Snap back, Blanton going to throw it out to Carson Miller. Miller going to make a man miss. He's across the 40, 30, 25, 30. He'll step out of bounds. An Epperson tractor 1st down on the pitch and catch from Jackson Blanton to Carson Miller.
Yeah, and we say a lot, but good things happen when you throw the ball to Carson Miller. He's just got a sense of where he knows he's on the field, got great feet, stays in bounds, picks up the big 1st down yardage, then gets out of bounds, stopping the clock for this Leopard offense. I mean, Jared, the high drama here, like if you're watching it on TV, I don't know if you can feel it, but like both bleachers standing up like this, this feels like a playoff atmosphere. Both of these teams desperately need a district win, and we're watching a great one unfold.
Snap back, handoff to Brody DeLeon, running through the middle, cuts back upfield. He'll be down near the 15-yard line. Call it the 16. Give him a gain of 5 on 1st down.
Yeah, nice inside run there, Jared. Sorry. Nice with inside run there. That offensive line all day long has been trustworthy and moved the line of scrimmage. And you're seeing Connally commit numbers to the box, so we could see that RPO throw here to Brock DeLeon possibly as this unfolds.
Snap back, handoff to DeLeon, running right through the teeth of the Connally defense. He'll be down now around the 10-yard line. We'll have another Epperson tractor 1st down.
They got a minute 18 left. The clock stops on a 1st down. Leopard faithful making a ton of noise, and the offense is rolling. All the momentum on the Leopard side, and right now it's gut check time if you're a Connally Cadet fan. Like how much gas is left in the tank as this Leopard offensive line is starting to assert their will.
So 1st and goal for the Leopards. Snap back, handoff to DeLeon, right behind Brock Maggard. Great kick-out block from Maggard. DeLeon down to about the 3-yard line, call it the 4.
Yeah, and if you're Connally here, you got to start thinking about maybe taking some timeouts. And it looks like they will take one, Jared.
Okay, we'll go ahead and keep it here. And I'm glad they're taking the timeout because I do want to make the announcement. So it's been brought to our attention that per Lorena Superintendent Dr. Joe Kuchera, at the conclusion of this game, he wants everybody off the field as quickly as possible. So we're not going to be able to go down to the field for our interview with Kevin Johnson. We'll see if we can get that somewhere else in the building with Billy, and also our presentation of the Joe Pack Player of the Game. We'll film that on the old way on the iPhone, and we'll get that posted to the YouTube channel as quick as possible. Billy, in regards to that Joe Pack Player of the Game, a couple of guys have really stood out tonight.
Yeah.
But I think one has kind of separated himself above everybody else.
Yeah, I got Chase Rohde. It would be my first choice.
Okay, well, we don't want to spoil it just,
I'm
just
sorry.
yet.
Sorry.
But,
well, I know because there's a handful. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that can get it.
Well,
I mean, I'd say Jackson Blanton on the stat sheet, not his best game stat-wise, but I can tell you from the heart standpoint and everything that Joe Pack Award means, his kids played his heart out tonight, played both ways. Like again, the Leopards needed their leadership to step up tonight, potentially finish one out. Game's not over yet. But a lot of really gutsy performances tonight for these Leopard players.
Wind really picking up now. Second down and goal for the Leopards. Now we're going to see Brock DeLeon come in motion. Snap back to Blanson, hand off to Brody DeLeon, running right behind that offensive line, into the end zone. Touchdown, Lorena Leopards. Touchdown, Brody DeLeon.
Yeah, big time drive there for the Leopard offense. And Jared, the hand, like you said, coming out of the break, a healthy dose of Brody DeLeon. You sprinkle in the pass, short, easy, manageable, safe throws, so you avoided a potential turnover. But Brody DeLeon, his first game back from sitting out last week, what a difference maker he's been tonight. That Leopard offensive line, the gutsy performance by the Leopard defense with 50 seconds to go.
Connor Johnson on to attempt the extra point. Good snap. Another difficult hold. It is going to be blocked and go out of the back of the end zone. So just a tough job on the hold tonight. So extra point, no good. But with 50 seconds left to go, your new score is Lorena 27, Connally 21. We'll take a break, come right back. It's Lorena Leopard football powered by Rogue Media.
Syntex Pond, Waco, Hewitt, Temple, and Killeen. Here to help you with all your cash flow needs. Bring in all items of value for quick, hassle-free loans or sell them at a fair value and receive the best customer service in Central Texas. From Rolexes to firearms, our experienced staff is here to help when you need cash with compassion and understanding. Check out our Google reviews and come see for yourself. We are proud supporters of Lorena Leopard football. Syntex Pond. We are not in the loan or merchandise business. We are in the people business. Come check us out.
Welcome back into Mac People Stadium. The Leopards take the lead with 50 seconds left to go in the ballgame, 27-21 over Connally.
When you talk about Joe Pack, too, I mean, you've got Brody DeLeon with a pick six, another rushing touchdown, played his heart out all night long. I mean, I'm sorry, Brody DeLeon.
Yeah.
So, again, it's always fun when it's a hard decision.
Yes. I think what sets it apart for me is when the defense needed stops, they got them. And we had a lot of guys that were directly responsible for that.
Yeah, and normally we wouldn't give it this early, but we may have to exit this facility relatively quick.
Yes. So Connor Johnson with a big kick. It's going to go 9 yards deep in the end zone.
Sometimes, Jared, football doesn't make a ton of sense because you see the Leopards struggle with the extra point, and then he goes up and kicks it off a tee, kicks it about 60 yards.
Funny ball, bounce funny. So 50 seconds left to go. Connally only has one timeout. They had to take one earlier in the fourth quarter when the Leopards were really moving the ball, and then took another one down here to stop the clock. So only one timeout left. We've already had the 2-minute warning.
Yep, but you got to think, Vincent for Connally, they're going to scheme something up where he's going to have a one-on-one or a deep throw. So this game is not over, ladies and gentlemen.
Not by a long shot. Caden Kaufman, the quarterback, snap back. And now whistles blow, and Lorena going to take their first timeout.
Yeah, I love it. I love the timeout. There was some confusion on the coverage. The Leopard sideline, the fans are making a ton of noise, which was actually the Leopard defense. The secondary was having a hard time communicating because of it, because the Leopard faithful here definitely supporting their team. Great timeout there. Just make sure you're all aligned. Make sure everyone's on the same page so you don't give up a cheap one.
So the Leopard defense out by the numbers, getting the instructions from defensive coordinator Paul DeLeon.
The Leopard student section doing their best to get everybody fired up over here. And what a great atmosphere, Jared. We had the foreshadowing of the weather, which is on its way, but we've been able to try to get this one in. It looks like we're going to be able to. And for the Leopards to come back and just to get a lead after the adversity they faced. The defense, a gutty performance, especially with all the defense, all the things people have said about the defense all year long, for them to be the reason that this team was in it and then ultimately was able to take the league is a great storyline.
Definitely get a defensive touchdown tonight and really doing it. All right, back ready for play. 1st and 10. Snap back to Kaufman. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket by Rhodey. Pass out to the right side, caught by number 3. That's KD Linville. Short gain of 8 on 1st down.
Yeah, nice job getting out of bounds by Linville, setting up Connally here 2nd and short. Coach Johnson calls another timeout. He didn't like what he saw. So there's some confusion in the secondary right now from the Leopards.
And I realize the noise is an important thing, but maybe our fans should recognize we need to get the signals in properly and let them communicate to the players before making all the noise.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you this crowd here is a good crowd. Leopard fans always travel well, but they're making a ton of noise, which is affecting both teams right now. But right now the Leopards trying to get their calls in, they're trying to get their checks in. And when you have a receiver as dangerous as Vincent, right, you got to make sure you get those calls in right. You can't turn him loose, right? And him one-on-one is considered turning him loose. So, again, I love these timeouts from Coach Johnson, making sure that everyone's on the same page. Again, you can't take them with you. Really well coached so far. The Lorena coaching staff's done a great job tonight.
Oh, I think now what we're hearing, Billy, our esteemed statistician, Clark Brown, pointed out we only had 10 players on the field, so they couldn't quite get the subs in that they needed. And that's what led to Johnson needing to call that timeout. Wind really picking up here. 2nd down and 2. Kaufman back, pass out. It is going to be caught. That is, I believe, Linville again. Correction, C.J. Evans, number 2.
Yeah, and right now for the Leopard defense, nothing behind you, no penalties, and tackle. Wrap up and tackle.
Snap back to Kaufman. Now he's going to be flushed out of the pocket. Chase Rohde gets tackled, and Kaufman's going to just throw it out of bounds. 33 seconds left to go, but Chase Rohde continuing to disrupt on this drive, Billy. And I'm maybe want to go ahead and say that the Leopards can hang on here and get that win. I feel real good about awarding Chase Rohde the Joe Pack player of the game, especially the adversity he's worked through this season to get back on the field.
Yeah, the defense tonight has been the reason Lorena has been even in the game. Both defenses played well.
2nd and 10, snap back to Kaufman. He's going to throw it across the middle. That is number 14 for Connally. Ty Brown makes the catch, doesn't pick up the first down. Or are they going to say that he does? Oh, my gosh. Yard short, they're going to give him the first down, which is going to stop the clock.
Yeah, because after he jumped up after being tackled, he kind of ran an extra 2 yards and spotted it himself, which I thought was kind of a silly thing to do because it was clearly short. But nevertheless, the guys in the black and white stripes spotted it where he set the ball down at. So the Leopards, again, getting a little bit of a little home cooking here on the road. But, again, 27 seconds. There's a big-time win. Now, we did see Connally earlier in the game throw a jump ball to Vincent. You got to think that that's a play that they've got set in their pocket.
Absolutely. It's just how close can they get, and can Caden Kaufman throw it that far into this wind?
And I can say Kaufman has managed this 2-minute offense very well. The previous play, he didn't force the ball, threw it out of bounds, saving time. And you can hear the Leopard faithful here making a ton of noise.
So 1st and 10, ball at the Lorena 48. Snap back, pass out. That is number 3. That is Linville. Makes the catch. Pickup of about 5 on first down, out of bounds. 23 seconds left.
Yeah, right now Connally content to just take these underneath throws. But they're just marching down the field and getting dangerously close to the jump ball time.
2nd down and 5. Kaufman snap back. Preston Powell flushes Kaufman out of the pocket, slips the tackle. Now Blancett's going to chop him down. He'll be out of bounds. They're going to say stop the clock. I don't know why it's stopping.
Yeah, he said he got out of bounds.
Oh, man.
Or I guess first down too, Jared, so maybe he'll wind it. It certainly looked like he was down in bounds. But 16 seconds remaining here. 27-21, Leopard defense trying to dig in their heels, trying to finish off a gutsy performance. But there's still a lot of work left.
Jamarion Vincent down to the bottom of the screen on Jackson Blancett covering him up. Snap back. Kaufman going to go deep down for Vincent. It's going to be intercepted by Jackson Blancett. Ball was tipped by Connor Johnson. Blancett fell down and made the interception, and the Leopards are going to win. The Leopards are going to win. What an athletic play by Jackson Blancett.
If you had Jackson Blancett game-winning interception on your bingo card, congratulations, because I don't think many people did. A great gutsy performance. It's great to see that young man get so much success. He's played a gutsy game tonight, taken a lot of hits. He's been all over the field on both sides of the ball. The Leopard defense closing it out. I can't think of a better way to win a football game.
So Leopards are going to take over 1st and 10, ball at their own 5-yard line. They'll take a knee. You got to be careful not to run back in your own end zone. So snap back. Blancett will take a knee, and that'll do it, Billy. Leopards are going to win 27-21. They'll move to 3-5 on the season, but more importantly, 1-2 in district play.
Yeah, what a great game. I mean, if you're just a fan of football, that was a terrific football game. Both teams played their hearts out. Both teams made mistakes. But in the end, the Leopards out-executed, played a cleaner football in the last 10 minutes, and that was the difference.
Leopards win 27-21 over the Connally Cadets. Again, we are being told that everybody's going to clear the field immediately, so we are going to break down. I'll tell you what, Josh, let's take one commercial break. We'll come back and put a bow on this one. It's Lorena Leopard Football powered by Rogue Media.
Syntex Pond, Waco, Hewitt, Temple, and Killeen. Here to help you with all your cash flow needs. Bring in all items of value for quick, hassle-free loans or sell them at a fair value and receive the best customer service in Central Texas. From Rolexes to firearms, our experienced staff is here to help when you need cash with compassion and understanding. Check out our Google reviews and come see for yourself. We are proud supporters of Lorena Leopard Football. Syntex Pond. We are not in the loan or merchandise business. We are in the people business. Come check us out.
Built for you. Hey, Leopard fans, looking to build the home of your dreams? Look no further than BAM Builders, your trusted local custom home builder. From foundation to finish, BAM brings your vision to life with quality, craftsmanship, and a team that truly cares. It's time to build something amazing right here in Leopard Country. Call 254-716-9987 or visit builtbybam.com to get started. That's builtbybam.com. BAM.
Welcome back into Mack Peoples Stadium. Leopards get the big 27-21 win tonight. Billy, when we look, Jackson Blancett 18-24, 2 touchdowns, but the biggest catch of the night is making the interception there at the end of the ball game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, probably the most talented player. The Leopards will see a receiver all year long. And for him to have a fairly pedestrian night by his standards is a testament to Jackson Blancett and the rest of that Leopard defense.
When we look at Jamarian Vincent receiving tonight, 4 catches for 32 yards is it, and a lot of that on the end of that, the jump ball earlier in the quarter and then at the end. We look at the rushing for the Leopards. Brody DeLeon getting it done, 27 carries, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Rain coming down. We're going to get out of here. Leopards get the victory, 27-21. Chase Rohde, your Joe Pack player of the game. We'll be back at home next week. For Billy Rutherford,